You could turn me on and turn me off with your gaze. You could make me feel oh so much with your ways. It's so perfect the way you play me. It's magnetic the way you pull me. You flick the switch, you know me so well. You turn me on like nobody else. I'm a project for you to complete. You're so perfect, and now I need you. You need me, need me. It's so perfect the way you play me. It's magnetic the way you pull me.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to our week 3 play day for the minor and major leagues. Because, yes, you heard that again. If you have been missing the last 3 weeks, then where have you been instead of just watching Challenge League, right? We are streaming both the minor and major league games right now, and we are starting off with our minor league game today, Lawless versus VISU. Both of these teams are very near to each other on, well, not near to each other on the table. Lawless in third, Visu in ninth place, but they are very close in points. Lawless have 6, Visu have 3, and this is a good chance for Visu to either get a win, get those 3 points, and move themselves up further up the table, and for Lawless to win and also extend their lead, or we might end up with the draw. But before I get into this game, I am going to introduce my co-caster to you. How are you doing, Austin?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Obviously, I was here yesterday as well to cast the game between obviously Old Track and Humble. A very exciting game to cast, and obviously this one should live up to those standards. Hopefully, one be. But obviously these teams, obviously like you said, VZ looking to really get off the mark in Talent League, and Lawless looking to extend the league, so it should be a good game.
Yeah, both of these teams have a lot to play for. For Lawless, it's just about extending their lead and putting a little bit more pressure off of their backs. And for Visu, it's just about extending their position up further up the table because they haven't had the worst of starts, but they also haven't had the best. They have 1 win and 1 loss in 2 games played. And for Lawless, they have a win and a draw, but their win was a forfeit win, and their draw is what they actually played, which was against Guardians Alpha, and it was a 6-6 draw. And Guardians Alpha last season didn't finish that far up the table. They were very close to getting eliminated out of the minor leagues, so that doesn't look like the most impressive result against a team like them. But again, they are on six, not six, yeah, 6 points. They are on 6 points or 5 points, I believe. So not six, my bad. That's bad math on my part. But again, they're up in that top half of the table. Whereas for VISU, they are in ninth. But it's only been about 3 play days, so it's nothing to really worry about.
I mean, yeah, Playday 3 exactly today, I believe, for the league. I mean, we'll see. I believe we should be able to get into the game relatively soon. Obviously, we're going to Hanover in Germany, Clubhouse. Sitting quite a bit on the minor and the majors,
Yeah.
to be fair, actually. Always an exciting map to cast. I'd say Clubhouse is. It has its certain play styles and its certain norms, I guess. But when you have a team that comes out maybe with a bit of a naughty top floor roam, or a bit of a bit more of an exciting style of defense you don't really see, it is always exciting.
Yeah, also before we talk about the map itself and before we actually go into it, I do want to bring your guys' attention to the staff vote. And for the staff vote, we actually have 38% going for Lawless and 62% going for Visu. So obviously there's a split there with the voting percentage, and we have a bunch of people favoring Visu, me included, because I'm one of the staff who voted for Visu. So there you go, I contribute to that 62%. And as for the map bans, we are going to head into Clubhouse. Lawless banned Border, they banned Chalet, and they also banned Sky. And for Visu, they banned Bank, they banned Oregon, and they banned Theme Park. So we're not going to see any of the newer maps. We're going to go straight into the old guard. But to be fair, it has been a couple of days since I have seen Clubhouse. So I'm kind of excited to see how it plays out, especially since I haven't seen it for a few days. It's a very popular map in both the minor and major leagues, as I do get the okay that we are indeed ready. So the first map we are going to head into is Clubhouse. Okay, 2 seconds. But again, like you said, okay, as we do head into Clubhouse, you said your analysis of Clubhouse, I actually did forget it because it was quite a bit ago.
Sorry. Yeah, apologies. I just say it's quite an exciting map at times. When they do play something a bit different for once. A lot of Clubhouse, there's a lot of norms. Obviously, as the bands come in here, I'm probably expecting a Thatcher or a Maverick to go, as you would expect. But from my previous point, you know, Clubhouse is that map that is obviously, the longest reigning current comp map, It's up there with
Yeah.
Oregon, been in the map for so long now, so there's almost defaults to it. You expect the norm, but sometimes when something goes awry, maybe a yin comes out, or you see a top floor roam, or something on bottom floor. Sorry, there's just small little things that you look, and they always excite me for Clubhouse. 'Cause, there is always new things coming in and out of the meta. Obviously, first ban through Thatcher. What else? I mean, what else can you say about that? Pretty default. Mav going to come through as well. These walls should be staying relatively closed. I mean, Habana on the board as well, though. Hatches should, be on the card to be popped if Cade gets banned for it. So Cade is going to be banned here. So again, Hatches should be available for the attacker to play. But the Mav and Thatcher ban really going to limit these walls. I mean, I would like to see a bit of Twitch and IQ here, or nature and below. But even still, walls not going to be easy, to say the least.
Not at all. Maverick makes a lot of jobs easier on this map as well for soft breachers. At least for the main walls that you do have reinforced, because he can Maverick trick them where he does a line at the top, does a line at the bottom, and then you have one panel of the wall completely soft, and then your Buck or your Zofia, whichever one is more accessible to you or whichever one you prefer, can impact that whole wall and blow it right open. So Maverick is a very powerful ban on Clubhouse, not only for his Maverick tricking, but also his ability to get hatches like Habana. So Maverick is a pretty default ban on Clubhouse. Habana as well, but Habana is on the board. But for Visu, unless the attacker repick comes in when this round is being played, we don't see a Habana. Instead, we see an ace, and the first site is actually going to be CCTV cache.
I mean, yeah, the CCTV cache not being the most favorable site actually in terms of higher up in terms of EU siege, obviously EUL and CL in fact favoring this bottom floor hold, but cache will be the first site we see here. Also, I want to point your eyes here to the Zero. Quite an interesting pick actually. Zero, you see him every now and then, but I'm questioning maybe a Nomad would have been more useful here. Obviously, it's different. You come at the gate with a Zero. Hard breach charge is obviously available as well as I believe the Claymore. So he has that sense of utility to it, but I'm wondering if they really need it.
Eh, I think a zero pick is kind of nice here as well. You get those cameras, and with those cameras, you can get rid of utility, but you can also get a decent amount of intel with them as well. And like you mentioned, he does have the hard breach utility. A long time ago, they implemented a patch where instead of one, you now get two, and you pair that up with the hard breacher that you have. I thought they attacked. I thought they repicked off of it. I was like, no, they don't have a hard breacher, but they still do have that hard breacher in Ace. He does have two of those hard breach utilities, and if you partner that up with his cameras, he's a really, really good solo op, but if you put him in a team environment, he can excel as well. Also paired with that is the Finka. There's no surprises there because she's extremely powerful, and LMGs do get a lot of play nowadays as well, being that they are probably the most overpowered gun in the game at the moment. And Finka has a lot, not only the LMG, but she also has a lot of utility on the board. Plus, her adrenal surges have recently gotten a change for the better, and that's why you see her have so much play. And she's using one of her utilities, which is the grenades, and she pops it down from below to probably remove some utility on that main wall.
I mean, yeah, it's very quick paced here from VISU, getting early into stock here, already breaching garage wall as well. You know, the pace here is very good. Zero Camera going through that wall there as well, just to get some intel on the garage. Maybe even take out the mute jam on the other side of the wall, which would be very interesting if they manage to get it. It looks like they will be able to if they just place this correctly, as it does go through both sides. That's one of the beautiful things about Zero, actually, I think I find. You can have it, you know, going both ways. And the hard breach charge also going to come through. It's a very good utility usage there from Zero, actually. You know, getting full utility out of his kit.
Yeah, there you go. He uses the hard breach utility, opens one of the lower panels of the wall in order for them to have some type of entryway into garage. You do have the main door in garage, but usually this is why you see teams, attacking teams, bring a double hard breacher for the CCTV cache. It's not only for the big wall on CCTV, but you also have to worry about the two walls that are in garage that can be reinforced with 4 panels, with 4 reinforcements. And Zero opens up that crouch hole, and usually they also open up an angle towards that window on the right garage wall as well, on the upper half of it. And that's exactly where the Ramai shoots at, because he expected the angle. He heard the hard breach utility go off. He does bring some shots, but also he does take a little bit of damage as they start to move in from that crouch hole. The first kill goes into VISU's favor, and it's Yuki to get the opener onto Ramai. A huge pick. There goes the quick trade, though. He might get a second. Cairo is dead. Now there's a team kill as well from JTD, a double on a round, a double on a round for Yuki as he pulls his team forward. The lead gets extended to a 3v2 as JTD gets a kill onto Vitolo, the Malusi, now down and out for the count. Not enough utility on the Malusi to suggest that she'd be useful towards the end of this round, but that is an extra body off of the board for Lawless. Now we see a 1v3 and a 1v none as JTD gets a double. That's a 3k on the round for the Finka, but also a 2k from the Zero.
I mean, yeah, Finka just kind of walking through there, just absolutely training up that garage rafters. I mean, I actually, you know, didn't highlight this in my analysis before, but very interesting, actually. The fact that VC didn't, in fact, bring any burns, but rather 6 nades is rather, not baffling, but it's quite interesting. You know, considering they wanted to take rafters, having no burn for rafters is almost a death sentence if you cannot use those nades effectively. You know?
Yeah,
obviously, the Zero Cam's going to use in the garage, but it's the burn.
I understand what you mean. They had plus you have to keep in mind that the defense had the Jaeger and the Wamai available, so to not bring any stuns, not to bring anything else that could burn that utility is baffling. That they still won a round and they still had a lot of utility that was effective. The nades being effective, the hard breach utility being effective, and that's irrelevant to like the projectile denial that Lawless did have, but still their pacing, like you commented on that round, was like very, very good. Their map control, they didn't get inside of the map really, but their pacing with their utility, how they use their utility, there was almost no denial on the board from Lawless to deny the hard breach. Yes, they did have the mute, but the mute isn't that great when it comes to denying hard breach. There was once upon a time before he got nerfed that he was probably the best hard breach denial, but he's not like that no more. His mute jammers can only affect a certain height of the wall. It can't affect the whole wall no more. So it's a mystery why they don't bring in a bandit, especially when the Kaid is banned.
I mean, yeah, especially when Mav's also off the board as well. See, nature and below is still menacing when you look at that main wall, but I mean, you know, why not double up? Because if you're going to be holding that garage, then, you know, you could do even the mute jam and stop rafters. Saying that though, Koro finds the first pick down to Lantu. Sledge going down lane, no impact being made this round. No soft breach. JTD also taking an early engagement. Over Koro looking to refrag. Gonna take damage and gonna just back out and recharge himself with those nanobots. Unfortunately for VZ, gonna lose the first pick. 2 minutes left on the clock, and you know, no real control to show for it.
Yeah, and that's an opener onto Lantu on the sledge that removes 2 nades off of the board as well as the breaching hammer. And the breaching hammer is not going to be that important. It could get rid of maybe. Actually, no, sorry. It could get rid. No, sorry, no, it can't. I was thinking of Maestro cameras, but they didn't pick up Maestro this round. Anyways, but that does remove 2 nades off of the board regardless. And nades are very, very powerful in its attacker meta. The second to fall is going to be Doki. That's Sierra Ayana gone, and that's a lot of intel gathering off of the board for VISU as they are getting their utility down, but they're losing bodies in the process. Another set of nades down as Doki does go down as well. And right now on the board for VISU, they have no nades left. JTD has already used 2 of them, and he hasn't gotten a single kill. It looks like he did possibly light up. No, I think that was, sorry, that was probably Yuki to light up Kato. But at the moment, again, this same little strat that Yuki's going to pull off with the Lord Garage. He sneaks in unbeknownst to Kato, unless Kato finally peeks his head up and then spots the 0. But at the moment, he's just stranded there. It doesn't matter. He gets team killed by his own teammate. I don't think the Ace was expecting his teammate to be in that corner. And now we see JTD in the 1v4 situation. JTD does find a kill onto Kato. That is why he's in a 1v4, not a 1v5. But doesn't spot out Karo in oil, and that is how VISU lose that round.
I mean, yeah, looking at that round there, I feel like that opening pick really says it all. You know, they lost the 2 nades. They lost 4 nades, in fact, just inside of stock alone. Obviously, Vertical playing, obviously, Koro from inside of that bar playing Diligence there through that wall. You know, Lawless really not being able to. Lawless winning the round, but VISU not really being able to get into the map. You know, they just stalled on the outside, and obviously the TK comes through. Second TK now, I believe, from the side of VISU, actually. Very unfortunate, two TKs in a row. But, you know, they didn't really even manage to get inside the map here. They just stalled on stock, and I feel like they didn't have that, you know, punch-through factor there the first time. Obviously, JTD took stock really quickly, got the control there, challenged to bottom garage, challenged to bottom bridge, you know, had the pressure there, whereas this time, Lawless, they matched them, and well, we see the round go the complete opposite way, because, you know, the pressure just wasn't there. You know, they countered it. They just took to that early aggression and they met them, and you know, now we see 1-1.
Yeah, like you said, that opener onto Koru, there was no. Also, to note, there was no immediate trade, and not only was there no immediate trade, but there was no trade for the majority of that round, apart from JT who was in a 1v4, and then he got that kill, and he slimmed it down to a 1v2. I mean, sorry, not a 1v2, but from a 1v5 to a 1v4. But it was just a consolation kill because then he got immediately destroyed after that. But now we see Lawless on the basement site. As I try and correct my notes here, but like Lawless are now on the basement site, and an interesting pick is going to be the Mozzie. And for me, as of recently, like I don't know why, but I feel like it's either I haven't seen enough Mozzie or I haven't been paying enough attention to see people pick Mozzie enough. He's an interesting operator as well, especially with his PT Roni. He still does have the 1.5 sight, especially and the Roni is still like a very good gun as well. But not only is his guns good, but also his ability as well with those drones. He can get attacker drones, and he can either use them for his own teammates' sake, or he can just take drones off of the board for the attackers.
I mean, yeah, like you said, Mozzie, the intel denial game here, when you play Mozzie, is really strong. Obviously, if you take down a couple drones in the prep phase, those Mozzie players become infinitely more valuable when you're looking to, you know, really delay the stack. Obviously, they're doing a top floor call here. No members, I believe, from Lawless there to oppose it. They should have the whole top floor right now. 2 minutes left to make their malleability on the map and get down onto this middle floor. No buck in play, so they cannot do this breach from Logi, as I love to see. Normally, when you see like teams like Heroic, when they bring the Gorgona on the buck and they make this long angle down through Logi, this isn't going to be available right now, as you know, as Sledge is chosen instead. So they're going to have to push down into this kitchen and start making this threat if they do indeed choose to do a kitchen take here. But, you know, Lawless, they're just sitting pretty, they're just sitting tight. We see a minute 41, they have had no pressure as of yet, and, you know, we are just seeing VISU just take their time, being diligent when they're clear. Walking down mid stairs right now. You know, Doki gonna go on the clone, they're gonna just make sure everyone's clear, drone down further, and we should start seeing Vert come through here as Kisari just get there and they just start making this Vert onto this main stairs and start challenging these defender angles and start hopefully pushing these defenders out of their T play spots.
Yeah, also to keep a note is the time. It's not like they wasted enough time doing it. Yeah, that is exactly what it is. They wasted enough of their time as well. Not Lawless, but VISU wasting enough of their own time trying to do a good top-down clear, and the first kill goes into Lawless waste. So not only is time not on your side, but also the main count as well. Keyboard is able to get that first pick onto JTD, and that removes your finger off of the board. And now we finally see a Lawless player off of the site. It looked for the most part that Lawless wanted to play a full anchor strat, a full tertiary strat, where all 5 of their players were on site, including Keyboard, who's now rotated into Garage. And again, VISU, they lose a lot of utility off of the board, but that's also your main fragger as well, and that's your space-making ability gone for the most part. You do still have the Sledge and Ayana alive, but again, 25 seconds left. A player on Lawless is finally down. There goes Yuki to confirm the kill, but Benji is there to reestablish that man count. The main player that I'm going to be watching for is for Keyboard, who's probably still in Garage at the moment. Here comes another kill. There goes a drop into Moto from Sledge, and he's shooting desperately, clutching at straws, but not finding a single one. Here comes a kill from Yuki, finds his way into the site, getting the plant down, but there goes a swing from Keyboard, who rotates back onto site from Garage and is able to find the final kill.
Yeah, exactly like you said that. I feel like, honestly, VISU almost shot themselves in their own foot that you cannot afford to be that slow when you're clearing that top floor. There was no real aggression. Obviously, we did see a slight lurk from Koro come up towards those secret stairs, but immediately went straight back down. And I believe that was spotted on Jones as well. So, VISU being their own worst enemy there in terms of timing, and obviously losing the first pick as well to Keyboard through those floorboards is not ideal. But yeah, I mean, VISU just shooting themselves in the foot there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't have roamers to waste your time as well. Everybody on Lawless was on site, so it's a mystery as to how VISU wasted their own time with the droning when when you have your droners, and then you also have the people who you are droning in. And I felt like they could have done that a lot quicker, especially if they recognize that there is no roam strat from Lawless, that all 5 of them are all anchoring on site. I don't understand it. It was way too slow of an attack, like you mentioned, and also like I mentioned in that round, and it that top floor clear was there was nothing to clear, so it wasn't like it was good or anything. It was just slow, and it wasn't methodical at all.
Yeah, I mean, also, we see here as well, look at the side of VISU. They're bringing the same 5 operators every single round now. We're seeing the Ayana, the Finka, which are pretty default, but the Zero. And I have to question, in my opinion, I think Zero has made enough of an impact to really consider him, being viable. I mean, look, Jackal would have been so much more useful there. Jackal, as soon as you see no footprints, it's done. You're clear. Have the whole top floor. Even like Edwin playing Lemad. If you want to worry about your flanks, you get into bar, put the edge up down. Start the destruction earlier, so you have to worry about that later. But instead, Zero's on the board, and I haven't really seen enough to consider him, a mainstay.
Yeah, that's the thing. He offers, like we've said it at the beginning when we first saw you pick it in the very first round where VISU won. Zero can offer so much value on the intel side of things, and he also has those 2 hard reach utilities to boast with it. As we see for not Lawless but for VISU, they're going to try for a south/east side take from CCTV, the Garage being cleared, and so now you see them edge their way onto the platform, and now the first player that's actually in CCTV is going to be Doki, followed by Lantu, but no opener as of yet. But the first player they are going to come into contact with is going to be Koro, which is the Jaeger, hiding behind the main table in the middle of the cash room site. He's being very patient with this. He's not over peeking. He's just here holding angles. Probably gonna quick peek though as JTD suffers a bit of damage. He's gonna prep a nade and probably get this first pick onto Koru. It's a mystery as to how the Jaeger isn't dead there, and he probably will dodge the second nade. The first kill goes into VISU's favor, as it should have done with that first nade from JTD. And now we have an opener for VISU in a second as well. Maybe a third, as Yuki does get killed, but also another trade going into VISU's favor, straightening that man advantage that they do have, making it a 4v3, 4v2 now. Keyboard and Benchy, the only 2 players for Lawless that are alive.
Keyboard really looking to hold down this Logi right now. Obviously, all eyes of VISU firmly on looking towards the site now. Obviously, the roam is done, all clear. We have Keyboard inside of the Logi, and we have, Benchy looking to hold this bathroom. Plants to go down, I believe that's inside of gym. Ace sticking, holding from the gym windows. Latu finds one. Keyboard now, everything to do, and he gets picked there from JTD on the windows. that roam really falling apart there. As soon as you lose Goro inside of the cache, everything else just fell apart. Vitolo tried his best to take a refrag onto Doki as he entered through the cache door, but wasn't enough. And we just see, Keyboard and really BenQ with all to do, and they're just isolated. And we see VISU pick up a second round.
Yeah, like you said, that cache setup, that cache extension from Lawless falling apart, not being good enough, not being strong enough to stave off the pressure from VISU. And the thing that kind of like one thing that I do like about some cache extensions is usually they have a rotate towards red stairs, and then you have a shield facing CCTV from that red stairs hallway, or red hallway as a lot of people would call it. VISU didn't have that, but and you also have your Jaeger getting like naded from below, and then there's no pressure on the Finka that's nading you from below. Kato didn't really even have a lot of help. He was the only player that was inside of cache holding it by himself, and then it's not a surprise that he was the first player to die, because again, not VISU, but while Lawless had angles facing cache from construction, while they had there was a player on the cache doorway as well to support Karo, it wasn't good enough, and that's exactly why you saw them dominate on not on the kill feed and dominate on that push in CCTV/cache.
I mean, yeah, if you show us that round compared to the second round we saw VISU attack, the difference is insane. To be honest with you, like the difference between that attack and what we saw from VISU the second round is insane. Like their first round and their fourth round have been amazing, but it's just, can they sort out these indifferences in these second and third rounds that they had their hiccups and they really didn't have any impact and didn't really even get inside the map? Can they sort this out, and can they pull a 3-3 here on the attack? Or better a 4-2, like a 4-2 on Lawless attack is just amazing when it comes down to those types of things. Again, JTD and Doki are just early on this entry. They're showing their aggression in the first round, but it does seem like Lawless are aware as one player that has rotated. I believe it's Kato. Kato early there, gonna find one. Doki being shut down there from the bar, turns, pivots towards another player trying to swing him here. That's gonna be Latoon also getting picked up there by Kato inside this bar, holding down here. JTD obviously the next player in line looking to challenge this. Is another player as well has doubled up on that doorway. UK and JTD got to swing. Commons and JTD finally kills Kato, but the bleeding is stopped. But that's two early picks, not very ideal for the side of VISU. Obviously 1 minute 54 left on the clock, and say that as I am speaking, Divery finds a swift double kill as well from main breach, I believe. This round's all over the place right now. 1B.
No, that's not good enough. Lawless, quite literally, I don't even know what happened there. Kato gets the first opening 2 kills onto both the Sledge and Ayana. The Sledge, on this site, he doesn't have a lot of uses for Sledgehammer, but he does have 2 nades, and so did the Ayana. Plus the Gon 6, that's a lot of utility removed off of the board for the attackers. They had such a good advantage there, and then it's just swiftly taken away by the Thermite as well, getting 2 opening picks, and he might just get himself a third if Karo isn't careful. He's getting pinched from the bottom of garage, he's getting pinched from the doorway of garage, and he's also getting pinched from the breach, but it is Yuki from the bottom of garage who's able to get that kill onto Koru, and now we see Keyboard in the 1v3 situation. What looked like such a good position for Lawless is just ripped away from them from the Thermite, and now just a minute ago, the JTD on that Finka. There goes a nitrous kill from Keyboard, but he's still in a very hopeless position. It's 2 against 1. They're all full health apart from Jibru. He takes a lot of damage, but he gets the swing onto Keyboard, and it is a closer. And now, after that amazing 3K from the Thermite, from Breach as well, we see VISU with a 3rd round on the board, but it's also them leading for the first time in this matchup.
I mean, yeah, obviously VISU. I don't know what to say there. Lawless, obviously, we didn't see what happened on the breach, but you have to assume that they have thrown bodies there. I mean, what's more impressive, that Thermite has done that with a Hollow as well. That's a Hollow on breach, taking 2 gunfights in. Obviously, I don't know who he's picked, because I believe Rafters are still alive, so maybe they went for a double swing on breach, and that's not ideal when you're obviously in a 4v3 situation. But that's to be reviewed in VOD, obviously, by Lawless. I have no idea what's happened there for them to lose that round that badly after Kato's superb performance there from inside of bar, or lobby, apologies. But, Lawless, they're going to look to retry here. They're going to go back up here to this cache site, obviously their first site and evidently their favorite, as they have played, I believe, 3 times now, or 4 even. 4 times now, actually, in fact, in this match. So they're not going to give up this shit, and they've only won it once. So, a bit confusing as to why they haven't, retried maybe somewhere else.
Is this the first time we're seeing Bandit brought in on this defense?
I believe so, yes. I believe so. This is the first round we're seeing Bandit. Obviously, the last round as well for Lawless on the defense. As it is, obviously, we have seen nades though from below, so it is understandable as to why they aren't really prioritizing this breach. I would have actually liked to see, you know, obviously Kato, he was playing lobby. Maybe someone double up with him, in fact, in lounge to really cover him from those swings. Because again, if Kato, I feel like had a support there, that round could have been over very swiftly. I mean, from lounge alone, if Kato had support. But you know, he did do a very good job solo. Just unfortunately, his teammates did in fact, you know, thump the bag and throw that round. But as you see again, JTD just looking to get early on into stock. They have this constant, you know, push. They just take stock early. They get in, they do their nature from below, and they try and make something work. Surely Lawless should be aware of this though at this point.
Yeah, again, this is the same type of push that we saw from JTD on this same site. Lawless has picked CCTV Cash 3 times now, and they've never won it. So this is the 3rd time they're going on it, and it might be a charm, it might not, but they should know by now that JTD loves to push into stock room, whether it be by himself or whether he be partnered with anybody else with grenades. And again, it's 2 nades tossed, but nobody on Lawless takes any damage, and that's we were on 6 nades, now we're on 4. Doki though does get the opener onto bench, and that's your bandit down. That's a huge pick because, well, where was the bandit? Maybe he was, I actually do not know exactly where the bandit was, but I think he was probably bandit tricking and he dies. Or actually, if it was a stockroom push, I believe Doki killed him from a bar, but at the moment that is the bandit down, and that's not only not the bandit tricking potential gone, but also a nitro soak off of the board as well for the side of Lawless. And again, Yuki doing that same strat that he always does, and Koru gets killed by him yet again. And now look at VISU's man count, look at their positioning, look at how much map control they have. Doki gets one, and now we see a 5v2.
I mean, yeah, Lawless completely falling apart here. 2v4, 2v5, sorry. Both players pinned down towards this cash side. Plant going to start going down here from Sledge. Butte looking to take one as well onto this bottom red. Needs to find this pick very quickly. Isn't going to find anything. 5v2 post plant situation coming through here. Keyboard finds one, but Votolo immediately traded back there by Doki. Keyboard gets another from below over C4. 1v3 from top red. Everything to do here. Going to swing onto these rafters windows. Going to be pre-fired. Going to just get away with that one through the rotate now. Inside of cash. Back against the wall. One player inside of CCTV just waiting for him to cross. Going to take the first. We're going to lose it to JTD there. JTD having a massive impact on this attack round. We're going to see VISU take 4-2 up here. And, you know, Lawless have to question 3 rounds in a row. Sorry, 3 rounds going to that CCTV and, you know, not a single win.
A single win, and still yet they've picked it. You'd think that after losing it twice, you wouldn't go back there, but they decided to take the gamble and went. They've won the basement. They actually did win CCTV. My fault. So they've picked it 4 times, or yeah, they picked it. No, yeah, they picked it 4 times now. They won. They lost the first round. Won the second round, and then proceeded to lose 2 in a row on CCTV Cash. They maybe thought that they could go 1-1 again like they did in the very first time they picked it. It's not the case. They could have gone for basement since they won it the very first time. But again, they took that risk, went to CCTV, and now we see VISU with the 4-2 lead as they switch onto their defense. And defense on Clubhouse is the better side. Of course, everybody knows this. This map has been in a map pool for how long, and it doesn't matter if it's an attacker meta, if it's a balanced meta. This map will almost always skew to the defense.
Yeah, since we've even seen Siege in terms of competitive play, Clubhouse has always been almost like a defensive fortress. I mean, it always comes up in the conversation with other maps such as Villa. You know, they're super defender-heavy maps, so you know to be going 4-2 down on your defense isn't ideal. Obviously, it is still comebackable as we do see 4-2 splits now more frequently in this current, you know, meta of the nade and LMGs being so powerful. JTD might find Thermat's drone here. I don't know where Thermat's drone's placed. Might be just upstairs in CCTV. But you know, looking for drones, obviously. Good diligence with the drones. They're only going to lose 1. I believe they're on that early. No, not even 1, obviously, because Twitch is in place. So, you know, the attackers being very, you know, economically stable with their drones is a word to put it, I guess. But still, you know, as you said before, I feel like they should have really attempted to go down to the bottom floor. You know, they tried the top and it really didn't come off for them.
Yeah, no. Again, like I said, they took that gamble and they lost the whole bet. And it's unfortunate, but now they're on their attacks. And look at this, they get the opening kill on to Driveri. Driveri is only 3-3. He was 3-2 before he died, but again, that's a good pick off of the board, and that was actually the player playing in secret. So now look at how fast Lawless are moving on this attack. I mean, there goes another. This is a trade from JTD with that nitro cell, but look at how fast they're moving on to the map. It's a oh, interesting nitro cell from JTD as well.
You reckon he pre-placed that on dirt? I reckon he pre-placed that on dirt, and just waited for the sound call from window. But Kato here knows JTD's around, gonna be looking to enter here. He's just gonna be sitting on this bedroom 90 tentatively. Both players just approaching this. Surely they both know each other. Bench is gonna be coming here as well. JTD could go huge here. One gonna go past. Gonna swing onto one. Doki gonna find one, but Benchy retrades there. Very lucky actually for Kato to be alive at this point in the round. Obviously, if JTD had just swung and maybe put a couple picks to the left, we would be seeing a very different situation going through here. But nevertheless, they're gonna be spraying. This is actually a beautiful angle onto these main stairs. Very rarely seen in terms of T4 competitive play, but it's so strong. Any player that moves up those stairs, if you're holding that, they rarely ever win the fight, if they even know about it for the first place. Obviously, that C4 though as well. I want to know where it come from. It was just out the window. Yeah, that's a crazy C4. That's crazy. Oh,
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 oh, oh,
that is
oh,
absolutely insane. That is absolutely insane.
oh.
Yo, the absolute arm strength from JTD right there. What a throw.
The amount of practice that has to go into getting that right as well. Like
Yeah.
that is insane. It's that's crazy. That has to take some an insane amount of time to be able to get to practice it to get it right. And a good kill though. I mean, I'm very impressed with that. But for VISU, look, 40 seconds left on this attack. You do have Kato positioned in dirt, and it looks to be a dirt slash blue take. The Maestro Lantu not expecting the push coming in from Kato. And there you go. He gets that opening kill in these last 20 or so seconds. Vodo makes this a 1v3 Doki in main hallway all by himself. The Aruni with the P10 Aroni. The plant is going to go down. The Overwatch has to be good, and the plant does successfully go down. There goes a nice little headshot with the P10 Aroni. Has to reload because that 16 bullet magazine, 15 bullet magazine, and there goes Toto, close out the round. And it looked like VISU, not VISU, but Lawless maybe took it a bit too late there, but they make it work off of some good initiative taken from Kato in dirt.
I mean, yeah, almost I want to say the Renegade, almost playing against VC there. Obviously, when you walk through Maestro, that's the last thing he's expecting in that deep armory. That's the last thing he wants. Deep blast, I'm sorry. That's the last thing you want to happen. And obviously, if you're having a Renegade there, it's like, okay, no one's gonna walk through that. I haven't even burnt it yet, but no, Kato comes swinging straight in, finds a free pick, and then that's box open up for plant. Blue goes down to Voltolo, and that's Lawless pretty much having the round closed from that point onwards. A situation which really shouldn't have been overly too winnable for them, and they turn it around completely.
Yeah, it's just VISU probably not paying enough attention towards the last 40 or so seconds in that round, especially not Lantu. He had his gun up towards the main hallway, maybe watching for the main door entrance, but obviously the push wasn't coming from there. It was a split push in the last 40 or so seconds. It was a split push from dirt and also a push coming in from blue as well, like we mentioned. And Lantu nor were his teammates prepared for it. You had a player positioned in main hall. You had a player positioned in bar, and you also had again Lantu being positioned in the back of armory. And that's your first line of sight. That's your Maestro, and he just wasn't alert to anything. And that type of stuff happens, especially when it's been such a long time, not a long time, but when it's been a while since you've seen a gunfight, since you've seen anybody. You wouldn't expect them to do such a late push from dirt like that. But I felt like maybe if they were more on their toes, VISU could have had that.
I mean, yeah, it all comes down to Kato just taking initiative there and just walking in. To be honest with you, there's no other way to really put it. Obviously, both teams, looking rather, slow, especially for their bottom floor attacks. I mean, both teams neither looking overly strong. Obviously, we saw the C4 come through that round as well by, I believe, JTD, which is still, amazing. I mean, I feel sorry for the poor guy that's actually experienced that in a scrim, Like, you come to scrim and you just get C4'd off a dirt breach. Like, it's really not fun.
No, it's not. I mean, at least for JTD, he's already wasted his nitro, so he doesn't get a kill with it at all. Because all 5 of the Lawless players are still standing. Kato, again, is going to be one of the first ones in the map alongside Koru on that Finka. as they do. It looks like for Lawless, they're prepping for a top-down clear. Kato immediately dropping down the hatch onto the stage. But I believe there is a VISU player playing on this first floor. There's a player playing in garage, and actually not on first floor, but in secret on the mid part of that stairway. JTD and Drevery inside of garage is the Jaeger, but let's see who gets this first pick. Drevery still being patient, holding an angle behind box, but at the moment, again, like I said, no first kill coming in from neither one of these teams.
Yeah, very tentative to get chomping in the bit right now. Obviously, all nades still in pocket as well from Lawless. And nades should start come raining through very soon. Obviously, sprays come through for Kato. They obviously are aware of JT. He just backs himself down those blue stairs though a while ago. They're still going to find one. They're going to find one, I believe, from Garage. Yeah, he's going to find one for his time sitting there by Harry Potter. He's going to get some, you know, reward for just sitting there and riding the hunter around. But guns now turned towards his position. He's now being pressured. But as I said, that JTD comes up from blue and goes big, I believe that. I don't know where he's got that pick from, but I believe it is inside of blue onto Kato. Kato just misses one on the cross there. Lawless, same situation as before, really. 3v5, not exactly ideal. They're looking just to walk in again, I guess, 1B.
They're looking to just do that again. They don't really have any set plans. I haven't heard any real hard. Well, I've heard of hard breach going off. It sounds like they got the moto hatch open as well as the kitchen hatch. But at the moment, it's just gonna be a desperate attempt at an armory push through the hatch. The smoke grenades are still in play, but Keyboard takes care of Land 2. That's your Maestro down. Now a 1v4 as JTD and JTD and also the Aruni pop off for VISU to claim their 5th round.
I mean, I feel like once you get one lucky round almost, I mean, I wouldn't call that last round lucky, but it is lucky to some extent with Lawless. It doesn't work again. You know, you can't just walk in 2 rounds in a row. Obviously, you know, we do see, you know, finally as well, Drevery getting his reward there for ratting inside a garage the whole entire round. Good patience from him, to be honest with you. I would have thought he would have maybe got a bit aggressive, but he just sit there, you know, just waits for one player to come in, strolled in completely unaware. And, you know, we see VISU taking a relatively comfortable round there. No real pressure from Lawless put on VISU to make them, you know, scarper or struggle. Obviously, it ends in a 4v0, sorry. So, you know, no real challenge posed there from Lawless to VISU. They didn't really have any control to really, you know, even contest what VISU wanted to hold there. And, you know, it comes down to it, and, you know, Lawless looked lost.
Yeah, you would think that with the intel, like the top-down clear that VISU would, not VISU, sorry, that I keep getting them confused. VISU started on the tech, so that's why. But for Lawless, you would think that with them doing a top-down clear, that their intel gathering would be a bit better than that. Drevery's position was set up in garage the whole entire time. I literally saw a player, that was him, I saw him, his outline in garage the whole entire time, and the intel gathering on him was extremely poor. There were no drones near his area, and again, when you think of a top-down clear on Clubhouse, people, they do the whole entire top-down, and that means the whole 2nd floor, the whole 1st floor, because you want to make sure all of that is clear. You want to have flank drones set up, you want to have drones set up in rooms, etc., etc., and Lawless just didn't have that at all.
Well, I mean, yeah, what's the ideal point of, you know, doing this whole entire effort, you know, wasting a minute and a half almost getting this top floor and middle floor clear to just be picked off from, you know, sloppy drone work? Like, if you're going to do it all, you know? That's the worst thing you want, especially your sledge going down as well. Like, that's why you do the whole clear. You can't afford to lose an operator in that bottom floor attack. That's how important it is for the attack to have all their attack options. That's why it's always the hardest attack, to get right as well, because of how much pressure there is on you to do every single step right. As soon as you slip up once, it's going to cause, you know, many issues further down the lines. I see this Yuki here, holding a very tight angle into stock door, looking to contest. Benchy looking to walk in, but Benchy is just better. They're going to take down Yuki. Clearly aware of Yuki's position as he does hold Swamp there. Drevery not quick enough to refrag. And, you know, we see Lawless taking the early advantage here. Almost catches Sledge walking down secret. Sledge obviously might come back up, and Drevery might get a second shot of this as he just holds deep down inside of blue. He's going to stand up, and we see another pick come from JTD, though, this time refragging here onto Kato. I believe that's from CC window. Yeah. JTD also. It looks like VISU actually want to give Banachik a go as well here. With the amount of nades on the track, it's very brave from them, but they are going to give it a go, it seems, as well.
Yeah, you saw the blue outline of the Finka throwing a nade, and there goes another, this time not from the Finka, but from the sledge of Koru as he claims that kill onto JTD. So no more bandit tricking, and a nice little shot onto Drevery to take the Jaeger out. Now look at Lawless's man the count. They have a 4v2 in their advantage. Doki can easily, I cannot stress this enough. He can be so easily isolated in garage. He gets a kill, not him, but Lantu actually from another position inside of red. He gets that kill onto Koru below, playing below with those nades. And again, Doki, he can be so easily isolated here. Lawless, they have to be patient, but they also have to be smart because, again, the time ticks down in their disadvantage. Once that diffuser is planted, then yes, the time does play for them, but at the moment, it's in favor of the defense. Again, it's Lantu and Doki in the 1v3 situation, and it's a nice little Nitro Cell lined up on that castle doorway to claim Vitolo. Now 35 seconds left to go, and Lawless have lost their man advantage, and it's evened out again now for a 1v1. Doki versus Keyboard, but they're not looking at each other. Keyboard knows that he's there because Doki has been here the whole entire time, and if the Thermite loses this, I don't know what to tell you. Flash grenades come out, and finally the kill is confirmed from Keyboard. He flashed him. Well, he threw flashes twice, and he only flashed him. He flashed him once as he jumped through the window. And again, it is a round for Lawless.
I mean, that's a key example there as to why you shouldn't get complacent on your attacks. You cannot afford to be complacent in that situation there. Obviously, we see Lawless, they have a decisive advantage, 4v2. There's no way in how we should be losing that, especially with one player isolated rafters. You get that pick, you get side control, it's free from there on in. But, we almost see them throw that. That comes down to a 1v1. It was a 2v1, in fact, for some period, I believe. Actually, no, sorry, it wasn't, as we see Benji getting refragged immediately by Doki. But, even still, you cannot afford to be complacent in those situations where, it is that easy. It's on a knife's edge to just lose it that quickly. As we see Doki, pick up 2 from rafters, and it would pick up 1 from rafters, and Lantu pick up 2 from top red, 1 for C4, obviously, and then 1 with the gunfight earlier onto Koro. You cannot afford that. You cannot afford to do that. Obviously, Lawless, if they lost that, they would have been on to match point for VISU, and, you cannot afford to drop that round.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about it. What was more insane to me is that Doki was still alive for the whole entirety of that round. And again, it's a 4v2 for Lawless. There's so many ways you can isolate Doki in that position. He was on the garage window. He theoretically had nowhere to go. He could have dropped off from the platform in garage for some reason. I forget the name, but that platform in garage.
Right?
Raptor, oh my lord, I forget. You know what? I've been blanking on my callouts. It's not just for Siege, but on Valorant as well. But on the Raptors, his position was already known. You can isolate him in so many ways. He could have jumped off from Raptors, but then you also have Koru from below, who was killed by Lantu. But again, he survived that whole round and up until the end, and I still don't know how.
Yeah, they're almost baffling, to be honest with you. It's not that hard just to commit 2 players and just hold him in there, and then obviously just pick. As I said, Vitolo, early aggression, going to get completely punished. Going to completely punish Drowy there on a swing on that breach. Very interesting decision to swing that from Drowy. Once that gets breached, there's going to be more than 1 man outside there, and they're going to be definitely ready and waiting for that as Yuki now. Everything to do inside the construction. They've lost complete cash control, much like Lawless did in their first round. They tried to hold this bedroom. This time, even though quicker, though, 1 man of that should be an Iandro coming in here. Gonna be pressured. Gonna find one. That's a very good shot there onto 0. Shouldn't be finding that, in fact, but Yuki now battling forward onwards. Gonna come up with a hip fire. Almost catches Vitolo. Vitolo so low here. Yuki, both players. We're gonna get caught there by top but JTD trades back. 3v3. Explosive early round here. 1 minute 47 on the clock. Already a 3v3 situation. JTD in secret. The last 2 players from the side of VISU basically in sight with Doki holding down this construction mirror, waiting for this push on through from Cash. This mirror is so strong. If you don't have the nades to clear it, they have a single ADS though, so they should be fine. 3 stuns on the board, 3 nades. They should be able to clear this relatively easily unless Doki has any ideas about it. First they're going to come through, going to miss. C4 in the hands of Doki and they're looking to throw it out here. If they give him this round is very easily in hands of VISU if this mirror plays a key role. They're also going to sledge themselves out here. 1 player going to go onto this CCTV window as they look to just nade him a bit further. C4 going to come through. Almost catches Vitolo, but he got shot out. They're going to come through ADS, paying dividends as it just walks off.
Ooh, yeah. That Nitro, so if it would have gotten that kill like you said, it would have most definitely put this round into VISU's hand, but look at the kill feed. It goes in favor of Lawless. Immediately traded out is Vitolo by JTD. Now it's into the Sledge and the Thermite versus the Mira and the Frost. That's a weird combination I never thought I'd be saying, but here comes a swing from Jim from Koru, and there goes the kill going into his favor. The Overwatch on his plant has to be great. There goes a kill for the Frost and a swing just in time from Koru as Lawless close out their second in a row.
I mean, yeah, that looked all too dangerous for Lawless inside that cache there. When that mirror's up against you, playing in that construction side, it's playing in that logi side, sorry, onto construction, it's very dangerous just to push that cache door. Obviously, Doki, unfortunately, does be found with Voltolo, and actually Voltolo, I believe, really has saved them there in that case with Doki just being able to really sit on that mirror. The nade play was quite poor. I mean, obviously Sledge gonna throw his only nade there off the mirror, and 2 nades in pocket, and also Firm, I believe, didn't burn, so they obviously didn't have the intel. There was an ADS there, so that could have gone very south very quickly if that mirror wasn't cleared.
Yeah, and especially if that nitro cell didn't get shot on time, because again, Latolo was the target for that nitro cell. Unbeknownst to JTD, he just wanted a kill. It didn't. I don't think he really cared if it was a specific kill, and it's not like they know exactly what Votolo's held was. But if he would have thrown that nitro cell, if Votolo wasn't able to like shoot it out in time, with the amount of health that the Ayana did have, he would have most definitely died to it. I don't think there's any question about it. And that nitro cell could have changed the course of that round. But for Votolo, he shot it out, and then he proceeded to get a kill onto Doki, and then that's logistics in control of Lawless by Votolo, and we know how crucial a logistics position is for an attacker, especially if they're pushing from the east side of the map, from cache CCTV towards construction. That position, if it's held by an attacker, could cut off so many crucial rotations that a defender needs to make in order to retake their own site. So again, the initiative from the Ayana was really, really good there, and it helped Lawless to a crucial round win.
Yeah, precisely what you're saying. But JTD here, on the Capcan, gonna rat inside a strip. I believe we saw Capcan yesterday, I believe, on the minor stream as well, inside a clubhouse. And, well, we all know how dangerous Capcan is, especially when you are taking your time on your attacks. It's the last thing you want to deal with, especially in this bottom floor. It just gives you another thing to really worry about. As Twitch drone does come in here, gonna get the cam and gonna just drone up further towards these rafters. We also see members from Lawless looking to enter into stock and onto kitchen hallway. Jivery, sitting outside of blue, obviously. Koro just playing Overwatch right now, seeing if he's going to get a free swing here from Drivery. Obviously, Drivery surely should know this hatch is open and, he is ready to be pressured. Koro, though, might have, some ideas here of just accelerating his push down here. Going to go into Secret. Looking to challenge actually here early on to this gen. Swing going to come through. Narrowly misses the shots. They're going to get away with one there. Going to go out to gen. Press this early engagement here onto Drivery as he rotates back into Church. I can't say that's not a wise decision with nades in the pocket as well, but gonna find a drone for his warriors, but as I said, JTD is gonna find one from that strip rat. 2 members here gonna be taking gunfights. Kuro going extremely low there from Drivery as Doki does a refrag, and JTD finds another one. 5v2 here. Lawless completely falling apart in this attack. Benchy and Kuro, both players on the blue side. Benchy almost finds a 3v, misses the shot at the Drivery. Drivery gonna re-swing. Benchy does finally finish the job he started about 2 seconds ago. Benchy now inside of sight. Diffuser surrendered in the hands of VISU upstairs. Everything on Koro right now. Looking to take the fight to JTD initially. JTD just sitting here ratting inside the lobby. Surely Koro should be aware of his somewhat position. 2 members are looking to swing. JTD just better triple kill on the round for him here. Benchy now 1v4, all to do inside of blue. Diffuser surrendered on the other side of the map. Smoke Cannon is also in pocket, 1 left. Gonna be smoking him out completely. They surely know he's in blue. Wallbang's gonna come through. Benchy trying what he can, but that's not enough. And well, Yuki just sprays in there from Moto, and that's been the round going in favor of VISU.
Yeah, now we see VISU put themselves onto match and series point, or yeah, match point basically is match/series because same thing. But for Lawless, they are only a round behind, and I know I predicted VISU to win this, but I didn't really expect it to be this close. Lawless are very close to tying it up with them. They could have put themselves on a match point in hand, but that round again, it just so quickly fell apart, especially when that first pick happened, and then you saw Diffuser get dropped, and then it was good for VISU to recognize that, hey, look, Diffuser is in our possession. All of them were paying attention to it, and nobody on Lawless could do anything about it because there was only 2 of them versus the remaining 4 or 5 players, and it just cool. All of that attack, it was a default setup, like your normal push of what you expect an attack to do, but I don't think it's either they weren't expecting the early aggression from VISU or they just weren't prepared for it. And look at JTD now on a bandit 18-5. he's been amazing in these past few rounds, especially when he's getting the opening pick and he's exuding that early aggression onto Lawless.
Yeah, JTD, we saw him in the attack as well, just playing that entry role and that thing. JTD been absolutely outstanding in this game. Definitely a deciding factor when it comes down to many of these rounds. Finding triples in quite a few, in fact. I don't know the exact stat, but I know he has got a fair few when it comes down to these rounds. But, you know, Lawless looking to just, you know, take this to OT right now. If not, it's going to be VISU picking up all 3 points. Castle, just, you know, a little bit of proximate. Very confused as to why that's there, obviously, with the castle barricade. No real ability to challenge that proximate, so maybe they just want a bit of intel on secret. Maybe they are going to be playing lounge, as it would be assumed, with the castle barricades in place. But we'll have to see how Lawless choose to attack this. How just rappelling up to the roof is, they may be going for a, you know, construction take, because, you know, nothing has been really too successful from this CC side for the defense so far this game. So, you know, everything to win here for Lawless, all things considered.
Yeah, everything to win here for Lawless, everything to win here for VISU, because for VISU again they suffered a 7-2 loss to Godini's last time out, and now this week they want another win just so they can put themselves back into that top 4. But that is not how you want to start this round. If you want to win a game, there's 2 kills going into Lawless's favor. Doki finally finds a trade from this Raptors position that he's holding, that the Wumai is almost always holding on Clubhouse, and he's able to get that kill. Now the positives for VISU is not really the man count, but the HP that Benchy is on. Despite that adrenaline surge being used, he is on very low HP. Any of these SMGs, these P shooters, a lot of people would call them, not the SMG-11, not the MP5. Well, the MP5K is a P shooter, and so is the MP7. But if any of these guns shoot at the Finka, then the Benchy will most definitely fall. But for Lawless, again, they do have that man advantage. It's just that they don't get over too complacent, because it's still a close round so far. They just have to be smart about their movements. A minute and 25 left to go, and that's how you look to close out a round. Doki finally falls, but there goes Lancer with the trade. He is lit up to flashing red HP, and now they have to depend on Lancer and JTD to get these final 3 kills. Again, a minute and 10 left to go for the attackers. They have plenty of time to prep how they want to do this push, and they opted for a garage push instead of going to the main breach. The main wall is going to be open. Whether or not that base of defenders is up to them. There goes Lantu from below, dying. JTD 1v3. He has to get these 3 kills if he wants to confirm the 3 points. There goes one, and now he has to find the other. There goes a second. It's a double kill on the round for JTD as he's looking to clutch this 1v3 up. He is now in a 1v1 situation. Kato outside of the CCTV cache door. They're both waiting for each other. JTD's waiting for him, but Kato has to push him at some point. Does JTD hear the jump? Yes, he does, and he's alerted to it. Whether there's cameras in there or not, he does know about that position now. Impact grenades used. I'm not sure on what, but again, Kato again just repositioning himself, and it is JTD to close out that round. A 1v3 clutch from the Bandit, and oh my god, VISU gets the full 3 points, even though in that situation, they most definitely didn't deserve that round.
I mean, what can we say about JTD? JTD. What a game from JTD there. 21, I believe, and 8 overall. Yeah, 21 and 5, sorry, overall in that game. They're completely dominating Lawless, slapping them around, to be honest with you. I mean, look, there's a 3K there, a triple kill the round before. JTD going absolutely nuclear in this match. Obviously, they're probably one of the best 1v3s I think I've seen. So, like, Cash, obviously, Lawless really aiding him there as well. Obviously, no real attempt to refrag, obviously, in the plant. Have to question the position of it going down on breach there with no real cover from the window. So, you know, Lawless was aiding him there in that one as they have done before, but still, you know, you can't take anything away from JTD there.
Yeah, that last round was a complete throw from Lawless. Again, like, we saw them, they did open the breach up while the third mic was in garage. They did a garage push. They knew where JTD was. The like you said, the questionable plant on the breach, when you already have that Raptors position in check, you already have a player close on CCTV cache. Just the questionable decision from whoever is shot calling, if it was the thermite who made that decision himself, or whether it was the captain who did it as well. I don't know. Just a questionable decision from Lawless. But as we say that the match has ended, it is a 7-5 win for VISU, and they propelled themselves from 9th into that top 4 place, and a good win from them. But again, this is going to be a tough VOD for Lawless to review, because they were so close to getting that points, and they just threw it away. But anyways, as we say that, we are going to head into a 5 to 10 minute break. And when we come back, we will come back with our Major League game, which is a huge one. It is a big, big game between LFO versus Praetorian. So do not go anywhere. You don't want to miss it. And we will see you guys soon.
Just choke machine soldiers here. They leave 2 people up top, they push down below. I mean, they're coming to West Main now, and you've got Agent here with the shotgun on West Main, and Korgo just gets that kill. He gets a double kill! Oh my god, Korgo's popping off with that triple kill. Could be
If Oxidi would know, then boy oh boy would he be worried.
Well, it's actually going to be Mr. Easter to take out Spooky.
My lord! Thank you, Lawless! Thank you! Boy oh boy! Boy, Havoc, you will dream bad about this one for years to come. I am absolutely amazed. Like, great congrats to Mr. East and stuff, but yes.
Matt is get very aggressive. Christmas did spot out the player out there, and Oxy is able to take down Joe. This could be the perfect time for this, or he's just prepped it just so that when the players melee it, expecting something, they get something completely different. Grenade does come through.
But we'll be able to escape, and if you look up there, here's Coisel taking out the depth head. And Dallas will fall finally on from Oxy D, as he already has his third kill up on this round. It's all down to Mr. Easter for gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Not going to be ideal, although it did force back the attack just for a little bit longer. A lovely shot by Doki, though. That's exactly what he wanted. He's going to be able to fall back with the rotation. Going to leave it, going to leave it open. He's not going to playing around the cover to try and hide his fallback. He doesn't get caught off by the attack now. Got to be careful with these long angles. We saw what VISU were able to do with it. Quick trade going through. Doki able to re-pick that kill up for his team. Oh, and as well as finding another one onto Ethan's. That's a lovely triple kill for Doki in this round. So
It's full white flashed in, but the smoke is just denying any sort of push from Kraken. He's still in that area, and Doki just finishes up with a 4K from Doki that round.
indicator that someone is doing something cheeky, something funny, but JTT finds the first pick. Gets an injure as well. He'll secure that kill. I believe the Fingertools trying to pick themselves up. It wasn't reinforced, it's actually open. Did he find himself third? No way! He swung hip fire with the SMG-11 to make it 4, and
You can turn me on and turn me off with your gaze. You can make me feel oh so much with your ways. It's perfect the way you play me. It's You could turn me on and turn me off with your gaze. You could make me feel oh so much with your ways. It's so perfect the way you play me. It's magnetic the way you pull me into you. You flick the switch, you know me so well. You turn me on like nobody else. I'm a project for you to complete. You're so perfect and now I need you.
Hello guys, welcome back. We just finished up our minor game, and if you missed that last round, I have a lot to say about it, but we have another game to focus on. But again, if you missed that, it was a 7-5 win for VISU. They propelled themselves up into second place from ninth into second. A good win for them, but that last round was most definitely something to look back on. If you want to rewatch the VOD, go ahead and do it, because I'm not kidding when I say that last round. I don't know how much emphasis I got to put onto it. But we are going to head into our second game for today, which is the major leagues. We have Praetorian versus LFO, and this is a big matchup. Praetorian sit at first place based on round difference at 6 points, and they are tied on points with two other teams. And those two other teams, one of them is not LFO, but two of these other teams are Vivid United and Humble Academy. And for LFO, they sit on 3 points, having played only one game out of the three. Well, this being the third weekend. They've only played one and only gotten 3 points from it, but it was a good win from them, and dominating 2-0 over their opponents last week, which was Track Esports. And again, this is a good opportunity for them to get 3 points for themselves. But as I say this, I do have a co-caster with me. I'm not doing this all by myself. I'm joined by Austin. And after that first match, how are you feeling about this upcoming one?
I mean, the first match was very entertaining as it is, but this match, obviously, LFO, Titan Series winner last season, talent, and obviously, favorites as well to go ahead and win the major this season. And obviously, we've got, Praetorian as well, the up and coming big team for talent. It's going to be a massive game coming through here. Obviously, we have the map brands about to come through here.
For the map bands, at least between both of these teams. We have for LFO, they banned, or well, the auto bans for today are Oregon and Club, but for the bans, LFO banned Bank, Cafe, Oregon, and for Praetorian, they banned Clubhouse, Skyscraper, and Theme Park. Praetorian banning the only new maps that persisted in this map veto, and then obviously, as you guys can tell by the picks, we are gonna head to Villa first. That is LFO's map pick, and then second after that is going to be Praetorian, who pick Chalet. And we haven't seen at least I haven't seen a lot of Villa this season. I think I've only seen it once or twice, be played once or twice, but we're going to see it first. And for Villa, what are your opinions on it?
I mean, Villa has always been this defensive fortress, and again, I believe actually we have seen LFO choose the attack here, so very interesting pick. Obviously, no, sorry, but the LFO will start the attack for Villa here, so looking to get things started, but Villa has always been this defensive fortress that's so hard to really get into, and obviously, many people refer to it as it being free maps, but I believe we have the staff vote here and the community vote coming through, but then I believe we will get straight into the map after these
For
votes.
For the staff vote, actually, I don't think we received the community vote. We just have the staff votes as of now, and I think it's actually a 50-50, but for both Praetorian and LFO. Wait, really? Because I saw it on the stat predictions, it was like even. No, okay, so 38% for not LFO, but yeah, LFO, and then 62% for Praetorian. I voted for Praetorian because they had a really good start, and then they won 14-0 in their last game. They did not drop a single round throughout their two-map tirade, and they're gonna be looking to repeat that here, but against LFO, a much more difficult opponent, a Titan inside of Talent League. They did win the Titan series, like Austin just mentioned. But as we get into the first match, we're gonna head straight into Villa first, and we're gonna start off with the first attacking ban from Praetorian.
Banger come through. I'm gonna expect a Thatcher ban coming through here. Obviously, we will see it as I predicted. Thatcher coming through. Thatcher's so strong, makes stuff so much easier when it comes down to getting these walls or denying any form of utility the defenders may have in place. Obviously, Thatcher just super strong. Is the highest presence for a reason in both EU and NAL and Brazil, in fact, because he just is so good. And it's not because of pick rates, because of ban rate. Flores coming for the board as well. So utility, going to be relatively safe for the defenders. So Flores super strong at removing shields. Getting rid of any, utility that just isn't accessible to nades, or it's just easier for a Flores to deal with. And obviously, nades now will be, at the forefront as it had been in the meta. And obviously, first ban going to come from the defense here. Pulse, quite an interesting ban. In fact, obviously, seeing quite a bit of play when it comes down to this, kitchen side. C4 is not very nice to deal with when you are looking at that vert plane. Obviously, LFO do not want to deal with that, so Pulse with the board. Valk still on remains, unless obviously we see Praetorian banner here. I'm going to come through. It's going to be Cade coming off the board. Expected really with Thatcher and Flores at the board. Cade can be a nightmare to deal with if you don't ban him. Obviously, Maverick as well, on these floors. But we're going to get into the map here. Round 1. LFO looking to attack, Praetorian defending. Aviator Games looks to be the first site.
Yeah, interesting bands coming out. Not really not it's man. I'm mainly looking at the post band. Obviously, on Villa, post does find a lot of value, especially from below. Every single I can't stress this enough when I say Villa has probably some of the most soft destruction potential out of any other map I've seen. The whole top floor is soft. That floor is completely soft apart from that one little area in walk-in closet and also landing. So not landing, but the area right in front of landing, right at the top of main stairs, right? And now you'll probably see more operators like maybe a buck. You'll see more operators with nades as well. So that's why you see 4 nades on the side of LFO. And I mean, the first site is going to be Aviator Games. And again, like I said, I'm looking at that post bin, and I can understand it from LFO. Post is a really good ban on this map, but we're gonna have a rehost because of a mouse bug on. I believe that was from Praetorian or LFO. It doesn't matter. One of those players got Praetorian. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. So a mouse bug on the side of Praetorian is going to mean we have a rehost. But again, that post bin is something that I do want to focus on because the whole floor of Villa is off. And when you have an operator that can see through floors, plus you have a nitro cell kit, you have a nitro cell in your kit, he can be really effective in those situations.
Well, I think even looking further than the nitro cell in his kit, it's just the intel as well gained.
Yeah.
If you're holding this top floor down and you get the intel of how many members are pushing master, where they're pushing from, if one's inside a closet, one's inside a bathroom, one's looking to ingress on concrete, that intel alone inside of looking for your defenders inside of this trophy statue side can be so strong and so it can be almost round winning just having that intel, having that ability just to know what's happening and what's happening just from below, even not even being there, is so strong. And Pulse obviously taking a backseat, so that won't be happening in this game. Obviously, Valk, I probably would see a bit of a dependence on when you do ban an operator like Pulse. But even still, Pulse is an interesting ban to say the least.
Yeah. Also, to follow that up is the Kaid bin. That's pretty interesting as well. But Kaid is more of a default bin, so there's not really a lot of things to talk about when it comes to him. Not anything special. The only thing you're removing from Kaid is the ability to Kaid trick, which is extremely powerful. He's one of the best ops in this game when it comes to hard breach denial. He's probably the best operator at the moment for breach denial. Bandit, he's completely wiped Bandit off of the board for that. Mute is not effective for it anymore because his mute jammers can now only affect a certain height of the wall. It can't affect the whole wall no more. And also, you think of Kaid, you also think of his electrocast, his ability to trick, but also nitro cell. He has a nitro cell, and those nitro cells, especially in the later ends of those rounds, are very, very effective. Flores and Thatcher, pretty default bans. If you see Thatcher, you're more likely to see a Flores partnered with it, especially on maps specifically Villa and Oregon.
I believe everybody's in a little bit, everyone's ready. We will get straight back into this game after their rehost. Coming through, obviously, Aviator Games was picked, so they have to relock that. But, obviously, we did see the Chanka in play before the rehost, in fact, came through, which is the unfortunate Mousebug, and obviously, Chanka's quite interesting for me. I feel like Chanka has, really been shown off by quite a few teams. We used to see this dependence on smoke. This smoke dependence is, smoke was almost interlocked 99% of rounds, and now we're seeing Chanka come through. And Chanka, with the LMG destructibility that you have with this, obviously the smoke shotgun, also in my opinion a bit more of a reliable primer. Obviously you cannot diss SMG11 and how strong that gun is, but even still, the destructibility that is offered by that LMG is so strong. And combo that with a shield, and obviously the Shoemaker launcher that has his passive, Shoemaker nades, that the Molotovs, they just go off and off and off and off. And he has 14 of them throughout the round. Compared to 3 smokes, they can be so impactful. I like seeing Chanka play because it shows that teams aren't just dependent on the smoke play. They can show a bit more diversity. They can play, an operator with a different kit, that does the same job but in a very different way. Obviously, we're seeing that LMG, completely go off right now, and I can only imagine the soft destruction capability it has towards that master side. But even still, it's very interesting to see a Chanka being brought here.
Yeah, Chanka has most definitely seen a lot of play as of recently, especially after his patch and stuff like that. And when Ubisoft first announced like the rework with the Chanka going through, a lot of people were very, very excited for it, and Ubisoft didn't disappoint. They made him into a completely different operator. Like you said, he kind of imitates smoke in a way. He doesn't kind of do it. He imitates smoke in a completely different way. He has the Shamika launchers, which, not only do they like emit fire, but they also spread as well. And it can that piece of utility, and if you combine it with the smoke as well, can waste so much time when paired together.
I'm actually, I'm going to go digress here actually a little bit. I'm a big fan as well of like all the other reworks Ubisoft done recently. The Goya rework coming through, super strong.
Yeah.
I love fire. The fire boys. It's so strong. However, coming back to this round, Knock and Dockerby, very interesting. Obviously, Knock, when you're on the lurk and you're sitting there, that's the last thing you want. The last thing you want is a Knock coming up behind you from the stairs. I can imagine Spills will try this. Obviously, Naplay going to be future, as they are just looking to play this from below, as it seems. However, Hunter will find one straight there onto Forever, but immediately retraded back from Rava onto Zalrog. So, opening pick, not really having any impact right now. Obviously, they're going to lose a Malusi for a sledge, so the nades not going to be used, in fact. So that is quite big there, in fact, for Rafa to find that pick early there onto sledge. But even still, even man count, a minute 51 left on the clock, both teams looking still relatively similar as they were before these picks came through.
Yeah, an immediate trade, an immediate response from Praetorian on to LFO. And while your Melusi is down, her gadgetry has been placed beforehand, so that's not really anything to worry about. And it's not like she has a Nitrous or anything that could be used towards the latter stages of the round. But look at Bombi's position and also where he's being pressured from. He may just as well be eliminated here, but he also has utility in his favor. Now, as for what utility, I do see the Wamidis. They're all just peppered on that wall, and it looks kind of weird. It makes me laugh. And also the Banshee as well. So if those attackers decide to step up those main stairs, they will be slowed down by that Moosey gadget. A kill comes through for LFO, and it is Splits to get it on that Nook with that frag grenade. But again, they're gonna have to push this Jaeger out from this main stairs position. Dano takes some damage, but at the moment, no kill coming in from LFO as they are still in this man advantage. Now the push comes in from Hunter, pulls out the SMG-12. He's gonna miss a lot of shots because that SMG is extremely bouncy, and it's 2 kills to ring out for Praetorian as they keep this man advantage strong. A 1v4 Dano on the mute with the SMG in hand. There goes a nice headshot from him, but can he find himself 3 more? Spliz and Critical are a bit lit up, but at the moment he's probably going to get into a gunfight with P13 first. He readjusts his angle towards that hallway's position, but he desperately needs to find himself a pick here, make LFO panic just a little bit. He's getting sprayed through the wall. Nitroso goes out behind the bar, but he gets pushed through the rotate from Critical, and it is LFO to take the first round of this map and of this series, and also it's on attack.
I mean, yeah, LFO there going for a bit of a a below take there with the nades, and obviously pushing up those main stairs and into study, completely neglecting the master side of the map, which is not very common for the Villa. Obviously, we do see it a bit frequently, and towards tier 1 and tier 2 siege, but in tier 4 siege that attack takes a lot to pull off, and the fact that LFO have come out the gate with that shows they're ready to play this game. They really want to advance. They really want to push this. Obviously, trades going through the start, and I have to mention that Rafa getting picked early on that Pachanka is not ideal. That's not what you want. Obviously, he's there for Dano. He's there to, slow down and stop this push. And again, once that pick comes through, they have to go. They have the all clear. They can push at this main stairs. They can take. And what they do, we see LFO win gunfight after gunfight after gunfight. Dano's in a 1v4, can't do much. Finds a pick for his troubles, but then immediately refrap by Critical on that rotate. And we see, LFO taking the first round.
Apparently we are back on the big screen because I think we do have another, well, we don't have a rehost at the moment. Everybody's still rested in the lobbies. We just have a player who, okay, he rejoined just as I'm saying that. It's Rafa. He had a little bit of a mouse bug. We weren't going to rehost anyways. We just had to get him back in the lobby, and now we are ready. Praetorian is now down just only 1 round. That was a good attacking round from LFO. And like you said, a pretty unorthodox take, a pretty not unusual take. Usually teams, if they're not going to attack for master, they do try and take the office area and try and get a direct route into site instead of trying to clear that whole north side of the map. But for LFO, like you said, they did a below take. They had P13 on a study window just to see if anybody in the main hallway would try and rotate through study. Bombi did try to rotate through study. As soon as that main stairs pressure came in, he got immediately slapped from it. But like you said, the main issue with that round was most definitely the Tachanka dying early on, because that meant they had no time wasting utility for LFO, and LFO could just run rampant towards the site, towards those last 2 remaining players. And again, Dano was the only one left alive in a 1v4.
Yeah, as you just said that, looks like we will see, a very split take come through here from LFO as they do look to rappel up onto this master balcony, as one player has also spawned towards that study side thinker. They're going to be going solo, I believe. AV games on the cards again for Praetorian. We will see a master side come through. So, LFO is switching up already. Spills here. Looking just the entry in through this closet. Coles, though, ready and waiting. Has these feet holes here. Drone going to come through. Surely spots out Coles, and Spills is completely rotated off as he knows that is no longer an option to hop in through that window. But we'll just hop on drones. Spills now in the building. Looking to take a challenge early on here, maybe. Just in bathroom playing it slowly. Forever going to go down to Critical there. Zarok finds another one to Coles. LFO starting this round super strong right now. The roam completely shut down. Praetorian, my friends, what are you doing here? That's full statue now in the hands of LFO, but they don't even know this yet. It's that quick for them there. All members of Praetorian now scamping back towards the side. Gonna take a bit of damage there, I believe, from either team damage or maybe a shot from landing coming through there. But even still, look at where we have Praetorian playing right now. They've all scampered back here. 1 on 90, 2 members inside of site, 1 on study, sorry, apologies. 1 inside of site, but still, minute 49, LFO with everything to do here. Yeah, they have the full control.
Yeah, it's insane from Praetorian how quickly that master side extension was shut down. It's like they read into LFO's push, but they still got destroyed anyway. Tachanka, now the positive for Praetorian here is that they have the Tachanka alive, so those Shamika launchers could come in handy in slowing down the LFO attack. And luckily for Praetorian, Tachanka has 14 of them. So that means that's a lot of utility that can be used again to slow down this LFO attack, to make them second think their pushes, etc., etc. And for Praetorian, they also have a Nitro Assault on the board. Bambi's gonna be mostly used to get kills here in this situation because he doesn't have any utility to slow down the attack. But again, for LFO, look at how much utility they have at their expense. Zarek doesn't have any nades, but there's still 3 nades in their back pocket, and also Critical has to smoke grenades. P13's not going to use his claymores because in this situation they already have so much map control. They don't need the claymores for any jump outs or any aggressive plays from Praetorian. But look, 2 of them get shut down, and there goes the 3rd for LFO. It's a flawless. Their attacks have just been unforgiving because Praetorian, again, that master side extension just not working out. They got shut down from the jump. They got found out, and it's the 2nd round in a row for LFO.
I mean, here I am thinking that bottom floor, the middle floor attack, sorry, from LFO was strong, and then we just see that coming straight through there, immediately dismantling any form of roam that Praetorian had there. Coles, and I believe Melusia forever being picked off super early, on that side, almost negligible how much impact they had in that round. Obviously, we will see Praetorian finally switch things up, and they are going to go for this trophy statue, but you can't help to think that LFO 2 rounds on the board already. Any team taking 2 rounds of Villa, you're pleased if you're attacking, but the first 2 rounds, let alone, LFO should really be looking to lock in more here and really put the pressure onto Praetorian to, retaliate.
Praetorian need to find a response into this round because it's been the first round wasn't flawless. It was a 1v3 clutch, or not a 1v3 situation that Dano was in. He got a kill in that 1v3 in that 1vx situation to make it a 1v3. But in this round, in the 2nd round that they lost, Praetorian got absolutely rolled over. There's nothing else to say besides that. And so again, they're going to have to look for a response in this round with a win, I'm guessing, because a loss is unacceptable at this point. It's just been round after round of domination from LFO and Praetorian. They have no answer for it. They don't have anybody on the board apart from Dano and Rafa, and both of those are your support players. Mainly Rafa, who is playing on the smoke, and also Dano, who's playing more of a flex support with the mute. So again, we need a response from Praetorian in this round, but for LFO, 2 rounds up and they look very strong.
I mean, yeah, I can't argue with that at all. LFO here look like going for this study side push here, trying to pressure these members out. Obviously, no one from Praetorian other than Cole's there inside of, I believe that's Bar, or inside of Vault, sorry. Look at all this Bombi, obviously supporting from Red and Forever here on 90. So, they are trying to meet this push from LFO, but how successful that is yet to be told. Dano here is holding a nice angle inside the closet, but he is inside the closet as it is. Not ideal, unless you want to hold that like a fortress, but no players from LFO even really be challenging him there, so he's going to be, on a use angle. However, we will see 2 members here looking to walk up here on these books. They make the rotate through. Coles gets absolutely smoked by a critical on the step in there from books rotate. Absolutely destroying him, taking on to 90 as well. Forever has to fall off as he cannot hold this. Going to get the scan as well. Forever there. Going to get the intel. Knows he's falling back onto Wolf Door. He's going to have to push further into sight. You do not be sitting there with that Jackal track at your feet, as he exactly does. I believe he's just went and just sat in connected, but critical once more. Rafa almost gets his head absolutely chopped off there as he swings further around. Going to get another track here. Going to be Jaeger identified there towards that master side. All members from Praetorian now firmly inside of sight right now. LFO looking to just execute here. 1 minute 11 left on the clock. Pretty much all utility left as well for LFO to work with. 5 nades in pocket. C4 going to come through. That's going to be a massive miss there though. I believe from Dano on that C4. Pre-play's not going to come through. Critical looking to push further in here. Holding the rotate. Going to smoke. Going to get burned by the ADS. Looking to challenge the Hunter. We'll find another one to Dano. Dano going down. 3v5. But Critical is refight there from Forever. Finally getting off the mark here inside of Astro. Looking to peek further down. No one pushing, as Astro says. Doesn't have the intel clearly. All members from Praetorian right now facing towards this study side taker. Spills finds one, but immediately traded again by Forever. Forever had a big round here instead of Astro. Rafa as well. Rafa and Forever all to do. 3v2 situation. Looking to push up here. Looking to actually retake out to Spills. Spills looks to be aware of maybe a player that's pushed up here inside the trophy. One player though going to be found there from Masters of Rock. Good position there as Rafa swings out, finds one, Spills looking to refrag as he does
Whoa.
find it, and that's going to be LFO looking the third straight round here.
Yeah. Just once Coles died in Vault and LFO got that map control that they wanted, you just kind of bet on them to win that round. That is a really sorry extension from Praetorian. It wasn't good enough for obvious reasons. Like, first, again, you have Coles dying first. Again, he's the only one extended on in that vault position towards that study side. And like you said during that round, you wonder how meeting LFO's push would work. Coles answers it for you. It didn't go well for him at all. He's the first one to die, and it's very early on, and LFO already have that south side of the map in their control on the second floor, and there's nothing that Praetorian can do. But forever, he almost gave them some hope. He got a 2K, he got one onto Critical, and then he got one onto Hunter, and Critical has been slapping these Praetorian players. It's not even a contest for, well, actually it is a contest between him and Spliz, because Spliz hasn't died yet. It's 5-0, but for him, for Critical, it's mainly been him to entry and mainly been him to get the opening kills. And Praetorian, they haven't had a snip of an opening kill yet. It's just been all LFO.
I mean, yeah, precisely as you're saying, the LFO being completely dominant so far in this match. Coles here looking to hold a bit of top floor as they have gone down into this kitchen and the dining side. They're looking to just do whatever they can. Goyo in play as well. I love Goyo right now. Goyo is so strong with those 20 seconds on those canisters. Looking to take a challenge here actually. Gonna just fall off though. Not gonna gonna have second guess. Gonna be thinking no. They are gonna also be doing a living room extend here. Almost becoming the basic meta for this site, as you do want to hold living as well, just to add a few extra crosses and not allow that free red stairs control. But yeah, LFO being completely dominant so far in this game, and I can't see them hitting to stop, as we have seen most members of Praetorian actually now falling back to site, with Forever now rotating towards these main stairs. Gonna give the top floor completely in the hand there of LFO, basically. Gonna just fall down these main stairs, and now LFO have the complete top floor control they want. Obviously, whether they know this or not is still to be held with the drones, but it does look like they are gonna be looking to push in there. Spills does just get the glow canister removed, and yeah, they do. They are aware now that they do in fact have this control. Now just gonna start making this vertical play. Buck and Sledge both on the board, obviously. It's gonna be very hard for Praetorian to retaliate. However, 5 C4s. Hot potato from below.
Hot potato from below, but they do have this Valkyrie in play, and there you go. Whoa, that's not even a nitro cell. It's a Capkin trap from Forever, and that's not how you want to usually get your kills with your guns. Instead, Forever gets the first opening kill for Praetorian across these 3 rounds. This fourth one being the first opening kill for Praetorian. It is through a Capkin trap, and how fitting is that? Xerox takes a lot of heat, finally gets finished off, or actually no, Spliz is the one to fall, not Xerox, who's still on flashing red HP. And this round could be the round for Praetorian to win. It's been 3 rounds in a row for LFO, and they clearly have momentum on their side. A second nitro cell kill. 3 in pocket for, no, actually 2 more in pocket. Now just 1 more in pocket for Forever. As again, it's a second 2 nitro cell kills in this round for Praetorian. Like you said, they let LFO have that top floor pressure because the amount of nitro cells they had indicated that they wanted to play these nitro cells from below, especially with the intel provided with these Valkyrie cameras.
I mean, yeah, also with the first pick coming through, obviously onto IQ, I doubt she had much work being done finding this counter. However, we will see P13 just trading one back there on the ace. Down are going to be going down there on the mute. 4v2 here is, potentially winnable here for LFO if they just pull their boots up here and really get to work. Goyo Canister going to be denying any entry there. That's going to be burned there for another 10 seconds at least. P13 looking to breach the wall. Zork drops down this hatch. Going to be found there by Bommy. 1v4, all to do from P13. All in the storage door. Going to find one. Cole's going to be going down here. 2 players inside of Memo. Looking to challenge all 3, and that's Forever for a wall bang from Memo's side. Let's be P13 going down. Praetorian now finally on the board in this game.
Yeah. What can you criticize from LFO in that round? Well, there's well, I don't really say there's a lot, but there's one thing that kind of burns into my mind. You have a Capkin on board for LFO, and you don't get the reveal phase for operators when you're in the pick phase anymore. So it's possible that they probably didn't know about the Capkin, but you would think that if they're taking control of a specific area of a map, that they would drone a little bit better than that. To not spot out the Capcan trap to be killed by one, especially in comp play, it's not unheard of. It has happened before. LFO are not the first team to have somebody die to a Capcan trap, but for it to be the opener onto them, especially when they have top 4 control in their arsenal, Praetorian basically give it up to them. You think with the amount of intel gathered on that top floor, that the Capcan trap would be one of the first things to spot out. Also, the amount of nitro cells from Praetorian, no top floor hold. Maybe the intel gathering from LFO could have been better there, but from Praetorian, it was a well-played defensive round. And I'm not even sure if I would have predicted them playing it like that, especially again with the amount of nitro cells they had on the board. All 5 of them having nitro cells.
Yeah, never ever fun when you're looking to take that top floor, especially with Valk on board as well, when you have those 5 C4s to deal with. Obviously, you know, Sledge is not fun. It's funny actually the fact that Sledge is actually, you know, one of the last remaining players for LFO. He didn't actually get caught out in that vertical play, which is quite surprising when you consider the 5 C4s. But that's the last round. This round, they're looking just to enter quickly into Bathroom. It seems like they are going to be going for the very similar take they did the first round. This, you know, below pressure with these nades and up the main stairs. As you know, Zorok just looks to enter it, clear out this red side, and, you know, take point.
Yeah. Another below take again from LFO, like you mentioned. This is the same type of take that they did in the very first round. They have these grenades from below. They have 6 of them. Now they only have 4. 1 for Zarek and 1 for Hunter, 2 for Spliz, as they look to use these nades to the best of their abilities, but they didn't do a single piece of damage on these Praetorian players that they're aiming for. Another Lion Skin is going to stick these Praetorian players into place as they prep to throw their nitro cells again. But no opening pick as of yet, and while they didn't do any damage to the Praetorian players with those nades, especially as they threw them simultaneously, they have some damage dealt to them. Critical taking some damage from, I believe, a top-down angle from one of those Praetorian players playing on site.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with the nades, it's not the be-all end-all of the round. Obviously, 3 nades gone now, no damage really coming through here. Nades kind of missing. I feel like Praetorian are aware of this, and they dodge and sit off these positions, which can be very easily naded, as the drone does go up main stairs. They should spot Bombi there playing those main stairs. Hunter looking to challenge him here. No real support, so if Hunter does lose this gunfight, I believe he should be going down without trade coming through. Yeah, no player here from LFO looking to double up with Hunter, so he's just going to look to hold it. Going to go on 6 to barbed wire there. Critical here. Looking to double up as well as Sledge now coming to aid. Looks like we'll just see a main stairs rush up here eventually coming through. As that to say that Hunter does find Bombi on these main stairs. This main stairs now should be in control. As Forever though does refrag into P13. Ace going down early. I don't believe he's done his breach work either. Critical does find Rafa.
Yeah, that's not a good sight for LFO, and it's made even worse. Coles takes down Critical, the confirmation on Xerox, and a nasty shot from Dano as Hunter's finally taking down. That was LFO's opener, Hunter, but now we see Spliz in the 1v3, and he may just be the closer for LFO in this round. But on the other end, as Praetorian look to get their 2nd round in a row, and it was a good initial opening pick from Hunter, but the fight back from Praetorian is strong. They may have lost 3 rounds in a row, but their determination to fight their way back into this game is why we're seeing these 2 teams fight to the death. Forever is finally down from Spliz, but Spliz is basically almost dead himself. You could blow a kiss on this young man and he'd die in an instant. There goes the Deagle kill through the wall. But he has 2 more players to find it. He's just holding an angle. There's no way he wins this. And the sad face comes out from Forever because he's just like, why me? You know, when you're in a 1v3 and, you know, you're facing the last player who is alive on the other team, why did you kill me? Why did you kill me?
Precisely.
I'm just kidding, but yeah.
Why me kind of movement there. But yeah, Praetorian now firmly back in this game. Obviously, once I feel like you try that attack once at LFO, you have to expect it again. And Praetorian that's exactly what they did with that main stairs. Obviously, trying to immediately refrag. Dano coming up huge there. I think 2 big kills onto those main stairs. Critical though. Sorry to come nice and off it. He's gonna go on Monty. Monty not being seen yet. This map, and obviously, you know, Villa is a questionable map for Monty. All things considered, obviously, they will be going to this trophy statue site as their last round here. I can only expect the concrete plant should be coming through here, or concrete plant attempt, sorry, for LFO. As I say, that Critical is going to just go back onto that comfort pick of Lions, so we will not be seeing Monty as of current. But even still, it was interesting to even see it shown in that preface.
Yeah. It's interesting, and again, what I've noticed from LFO, at least from their performance on the week 1, because again they've only played 1 game so far. They didn't get to play in week 2 because there were some scheduling mishaps. They get to play their second game against Praetorian, and what I noticed from LFO from their very first game is how they use the attacker repick. I love the way that they use it. They almost always use it in every single round, and it's for usually really good changes. The Monty pick is obviously a really good operator for intel gathering and being a figurehead for attacks, or a lot of people call him a spearhead, but I call him a figurehead because a figurehead is basically someone who drags your attention away from the real problem. And for Monty, he's just that. He distracts you with him while his team attacks around him. And while we don't get to see it in this round, we get to see the Lion instead, who's really good at keeping these defenders in their place and stalling them and giving his team easy picks because they're stuck and they can't move, or else they'll be spotted out, as the first engagement is going to happen between Dano and Hunter. Hunter not able to get that kill, but the first pick does happen, and it splits to open up this round onto forever. Ooh.
You know, we trade that back immediately onto Hunter there. Looking just a step through there on Pantry. Maybe not having the intel clear that Dano did just push up and take that fight. A bit more confidence coming out from Pretorian, which I'd like to see. Obviously, they have gained those 2 rounds. We've only put them in a more favorable position. We're losing forever the one player that has really been dominating the kill feed so far for Pretorian. But, you know, refragged by Dano, 4v4 situation. Obviously, losing the Thinker that early on isn't exactly ideal. Obviously, no player really down health, so she's not going to be missed too much. But, you know, not ideal to lose a Thinker early on, with nades in pocket as well.
Yeah, forever is a big loss for Praetorian. I mean, they have Coles, who has been performing just as well, 4-4, but not to the score lines, not to the extent that you see, well, their opposite teammates, or not their opposite teammates, but the opposite team opposition putting up numbers like Spliz is 7-1, Hunter, well, not Hunter, but Critical is 5-4. So none of the Praetorian players are exactly positive, as Critical does fall asleep permanently in this round. 3-2 is the score line, but at the moment it is a 4v3 in Praetorian's favor, as again they look to tie up this half. They didn't have the most impressive starts to this game, losing 3 in a row off rip due to some LFO dominant attacks, and now they put the fight back. Here comes a fight back though from LFO, as they get Coles. 50 seconds left for the attackers. All 3 of them actually, or 2 of them that I'm seeing through that for the outlines. Now all 3 of them, there you go. All 3 of the outlines are shown as they attack from this master side. The Sledge making up some open holes. Dano could possibly take the initiative of the push. He doesn't really push. Jared pushes him. It's 2 kills on the board for Praetorian. A 1v3. There goes the 1v2 being made from P12. He makes his entrance onto the site. The Banshee alerting to it, so they know that his position is in concrete now due to that Banshee going off. But Praetorian are playing this smart. P13 does have the diffuser in hand, and when he's in these 1v2 situations, he has clutched them out before. There goes one, but a swing from Raffle with the Mossberg ends P13's hopes of winning that round for his team, and we do indeed see a 3-3 split.
I mean, yeah, looking at that round there, obviously Praetorian, they do come back really well in this game. Obviously 3-0 down wasn't looking good for them. LFO was taking 3 very dominant rounds in that fact, actually, on the attack, and then Praetorian, they finally kick into gear and they do take the next 3. And, you know, I have to really favor Praetorian going to these attacks. Obviously after you have, you know, the wind at your, you know, the wind at your feet, you know, the real motivation, you know, after you take these 3 rounds in a row, you know, you have, you know, this spur, you know, you have the ability to go on and win more and more, because the mental, I'm sure, of LFO right now is not looking very good. Obviously 3 rounds in a row, you know, to lose them after winning 3 directly yourself is not ideal.
Yeah, but now they're on their defenses. The first site they are going to pick is Aviator Games, as we get straight into this setup. Spliz on the mirror, which is very interesting, and I wonder what this mirror strat is he going to be putting it. I feel like he is gonna, it's kind of expected what he's gonna do. He's gonna put a mirror on the study wall, and Aviators facing the study doorway, and also a mirror on the bar wall, which he's doing now, which faces the study window. And also you see some self-destruction happening from LFO, making these top-down angles just in case Praetorian want to push below with nades. They have those angles against them, in which they could probably get some easy picks. And Praetorian did this when they defended Aviator Games as well. They had top-down angles made with their own self-destruction utils, such as the Shotgun Hunter getting a very early spawn peek with the SMG-11 onto Dano. And that's the Nook gone. and that's 2 grenades already off of the board for Praetorian.
I mean, yeah, LFO looking to really set the pace there with that early spawn pick from I believe that's Hunter on the smoke as well. Operators. Very risky play, but it is going to come completely off there for LFO. 5v4 already, 2 minutes research on the board, and that's the price you pay for not being aware of that spawn peak coming through. And again, Mirror on the board as well here. We didn't really see her the first half, but we're going to see LFO put to good use. So this is a dog shotgun right now on critical. Obviously, you know how scary the shotgun is to the French. As I say that though, Coles is going to punish Hunter straight back for spawn peeking his friend there. Nade going to come from below, and obviously Nook's nades not going to go to use, but Cole's definitely here. Unless be Hunter being found down the smoke. Not the ideal operator to lose, obviously, after you do get the first pick. Forever though, taking damage to I believe a C4. No, just take a bit of damage to maybe his own nade even on that vertical plate he's attempting. Yeah, P13 though. Dangerous position right now.
Yeah, depends on how Praetorians play this, if they're going to be able to pinch them. But it doesn't even look like Praetorian are aware of his positioning, and that's why you see Coles not even looking at P13. Bombi, who's now alert to this position, finally from P13 drops down the hatch, and now he has to rotate all the way back upstairs. Finally, P13's dies, and it's to Rafa, and I'm going to sing my praises to Rafa because I've been watching him play for a bit, and I've been really, really impressed with not only his plays on the support role, but also the numbers that he puts up. And he's like, the whole of Praetorian are a newer team, a newer addition in Talent League. They haven't played in Talent League before, and Rafa is making his name known as he's 5-4 at the moment on like supportive roles again, like Smoke, like Havana. These are his main body operators that he's been playing, and he evens out the man counts per Praetorian with 50 seconds left. Though Praetorian do not have the time on their side. Habana in Rafa is going to move down 90, and he could possibly get this 90 wall open for his team. Is Doc still playing that shield? No, it looks like he cleared on out of there, so it gives this 90 control up to the attackers, and I'm pretty sure it's a smart play from Critical to back off, seeing as he only has the shotgun, and then a shotgun against an assault rifle when you're holding down 90 is just not going to be good enough. 20 seconds left though is the time left for Praetorian, and again it doesn't look like they have any concrete way into sight, so they're just going to YOLO it. 2 kills go their way though, as LFO gets so over aggressive, they get overzealous, they get impatient, way too impatient. Now a 1v2 for Xerox. The plant does go down from Rafa, and it doesn't matter because Bombi takes that gunfight and he wins it against him.
Yeah, I mean, Praetorian, they're not looking so good off the start, obviously, with the spawn peak coming through from Hunter, but then battling back straight away to refrag him from below with a nade. Obviously, the direct revenge from, I believe, Dano there on the Ayana, but, Cole's in the Ayana, sorry. But even still, for LFO to lose around, something has to go majorly wrong. 16 seconds left on the clock. You have 2 doorways. 2 doorways to watch. Two entrances to watch. So you got Vault, and you have map store, really, and or Skull Door, sorry. And they just didn't watch them. They didn't hold it well enough, and obviously we see them be completely punished with critical, going down to Rafa, big round there. Finding the refrag onto P13, and also just having the really spearheading their attacker into sight, and then Bombi just doing the rest of the job on the cover and finding that final pick. But all things did there, Praetorian really shouldn't be finding that round, and what that does now is that puts a lot of pressure to LFO to really go and get this one right now. Because going 5-3 down is not ideal on Villa.
Yeah, that round again, like you said, I felt like LFO just got too impatient. They started shaking it, not shaking in their boots like in a scared way, but they started shaking in their boots and like in a more impatient way. They just couldn't stay still. They couldn't hold angles, even though they had the advantage in that moment. Praetorian had like 15 seconds left, and you saw them, like, I saw a couple players, like, I didn't get to see their POV, but like from the outlines I saw a couple of them swing, I saw a couple of them 2 of them push, and that's exactly why we saw like Spliz or whoever it was in the 1v3 situation. And again, LFO looking to put on that early aggression onto Praetorian. They don't get a pick from it, but Spliz could be the first one to get a pick, or he could be the first one to be picked.
I mean, yeah, Spliz position now known for Praetorian. They know where he is. They know he's playing this library. Obviously, P13 playing a very similar position last round, able to live it out there because he was on drone. But this time, Spliz is made aware. P13 there down to support him though with that SMG 11 in hand. Obviously, super strong weapon. Obviously, if you hit your shots, as we know, P13 can. 90 window as well, now being pressured as well from Forever here. He's going to get a bit zealous towards this window. Isn't going to find anything as no member from PRETORIAN even steps out for him. But as I said, that P13 finds Coles down below on the Ayana. Going to be being vanquished first here. Health advantage, obviously, and man advantage, sorry, in fact, of LFO right now. And, you know, finger charge does come through, and obviously, you know, a boost is going through, but it doesn't matter. They know Coles is already dead, and, you know, we see the advantage. LFO look to rotate back towards site, and as I say that, eat my words, Bonnie, and Rafa finds a rock. PRETORIAN pushing the run back in their favor here. I can't even speak. Critical now takes a peek from goal. I can't speak. I can't speak for this.
You know what's crazy is that this is the second time in a row where Hunter's the early pick for his team, at least, and he's on the smoke as well. It's just I don't like that. I like smoke can be played aggressively, but you have to take in mind that his utility doesn't bode well if your team doesn't bode well if the smoke is to die very early on, and that's exactly what's happened here. Now they have no way of really slowing down these pushes. They do have a chance to stop it with the nitro cell. One goes out from splits, but it doesn't catch anyone, and now they only have one nitro cell and P13 who's hanging around the upper part of red stairs. For PRETORIAN, two of these players are right next to each other. The first one who will come into contact with the PRETORIAN players is actually P13, who swings from 90. Do they know of Splizz's position? Yes, they do. It is a little sneaky push around the pool table from Bombi, who completely bypasses Splizz's line of sights from the main door, and we get a tactical timeout from LFO.
I mean, I will say this is probably the correct decision right now for LFO. Obviously losing, you know, 5 rounds in a row now, sorry, to PRETORIAN. PRETORIAN completely in the swing of motion right now. They're not stopping. They're not slowing down. Absolutely trained. They're streamlining through this, you know, LFO defense, very much as they did in their attack. And you know, we're seeing LFO, and they're just, you know, not really having that impact they had in those first 3 rounds. We're not really seeing that from, obviously, Hunter getting a bit aggressive the first round, finding the spawn peak, P13 finding the first pick, but then after that, it's been all downhill for them, really.
Yeah, again, I felt like, again, Hunter dying very early in that round on smoke just didn't help the situation at all, because he could have used his utility to slow down PRETORIAN in those last few seconds were he still alive, but he plays over aggressive with the smoke a lot of the times, and Hunter is he's more of like a flex fragger. So it's nice to see that he's switching the smoke out for critical onto Wamai, and then giving critical the smoke role instead of him. But the next site that we will go on to, as this tactical timeout does come to an end, LFO having the time to talk about their mistakes and what they need to fix and what they can improve on in this round. Like, they're gonna go to Trophy Statuary, and this is a round where you look to LFO and you think of what the response is gonna be, because it's been 5 in a row from PRETORIAN.
I mean, yeah, also, one thing to know about tactical timeout is when you're looking to defend, most of these defense strategies are already set in place. When you give these attackers PRETORIAN time, you know, obviously they have won 3 rounds in a row, so they are definitely feeling 5 rounds in a row, so they are definitely feeling themselves as it is in this map. But, you know, when you give these attackers also time to assess their attack, they may find something as well. This timeout doesn't just work for LFO, it works for PRETORIAN as well. They have time, you know, to assess. But again, what this has given LFO is hopefully a break. You know, it gives PRETORIAN some cooldown time. You know, they need to really use this. They need to get back in through this round. Obviously, they've had time to talk. They know what they want to do. They know what they want to change up. So let's see this in action now. Let's see if LFO can really find this round.
Yeah, let us see, because one thing that's been really biting them in the keeper is how over aggressive LFO play, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. And playing over aggressive against a team like PRETORIAN, who are in first place, who know how to play against tough opponents as well, who can show up at these big games, maybe isn't an optimal thing to do, especially when they have the guns to shoot back. And not only do their fraggers shoot, but also their support players as well. So keep that in mind, LFO, especially as these rounds keep going on, because if you keep being aggressive, these aren't your average ranked teams. This is an actual team involved in competitive play that have played in higher leagues and talent leagues, such as the Spanish leagues and whatnot. They have that experience over you, and it's showing right now.
I mean, yeah, Praetorian showing the veteran areas in this map right now. 5 rounds in a row now. They haven't really put a foot wrong on these attacks so far. Obviously, when losing their first pick. As I say, that Rafa puts Hunter down. Hunter already having the biggest impact on this defense. As I said as well, Bombi finds Zorok. Bad goes to worse for LFO right now. All players pinned down in these key spots, and you know, Praetorian really just looking to exit quickly here as it seems Spills going to make his way up the Astro stairs. Going to dodge a narrow bullet fire. Going to try and refrag his Spills. Going to take a lot of damage to Trouble. He's not going to trade any back either. 5v3. Spills low HP. This is not good for LFO.
Yes, Hunter has been the first death for LFO in these past 3 rounds, I believe, and now it's only going to be made worse as Xerox is taken down as well, and Praetorian have such a good man advantage, but it looks they don't want to play this really dumb. They don't want to over-aggress too early on because they have 1 minute and 5 left to work with. There you go, Critical having to swing. He's trying to get a pick for his team because that is desperately what LFO need at the moment, and he gets taken out, and now that extra smoke gone. Critical, before he actually died, he had 1 smoke grenade left, so he could have been a little bit more patient, waited for like Splits to hold that angle, and then he could have used the smoke grenade to delay time for Praetorian or make him rotate through bathroom instead towards Splits' line of sight. There goes Splits down, P13 in the corner, finds 1. He's in a 1v4 now, flashing red HP as his screen goes gray. He tries to get a kill on to the really difficult angle onto Forever, but Forever is able to close out that round. And LFO, it's now a 6th round in a row, and we're still looking at you for an answer.
Yeah, I mean, match point now. I mean, we saw the start of this game and we were singing LFO's praises in the first 2 rounds, how well they were playing, how well they were attacking, but it seems like Praetorian very quickly worked them out. And, well, now we're seeing, you know, the opposite situation here. LFO, 6 rounds now, they're down. They need to find something. So they're going to go to Trophy Statue yet again. Castle Rooney being brought here, so, you know, ultra denial on these entry doorways. You know, they just want to stop and slow somehow the entry, but you have to keep in mind Hunter now as well, not having the biggest impact. You know, first pick, you know, for LFO these last 4 rounds, I believe, by my count, you know, not exactly ideal.
Yeah, and it's been on like really important operators too, such as the Wamai and Smoke, and it may sound like we're kind of hurt, we're kind of like not hitting, that's flirting, my god, I was gonna say hitting on Hunter, I'm not hitting on him, but anyways, like, it sounds like we're insulting Hunter or we're talking down on him, and we're not. It's just a common pattern that we've been noticing over these last few rounds. He's consistently on operators such as the Wamai, such as the Smoke. Both are very, very crucial operators that you need to keep alive, especially with the utility that he has. Smoke has smoke grenades. You can use them to choke off time. Everybody knows that. And for Wamai, the Wamai disc, they're rechargeable. You use that to burn projectiles that the attackers throw, such as frag grenades, such as flashes. But we haven't been seeing that from Hunter because he's been the first one to die. He's been the first death due to how aggressive he is very early on.
Starting shock drone.
I mean, yeah, we see PRT looking to do the study side pushes. They are going to be met by these cast barricades. Cole's taking a lot of damage early on. I don't know where that's from, but P13 going to get LFO off to a better start this round, taking the first pick as they have done previous rounds before. Let's see if they can use this to their advantages. You know, P13 looks to hold firm inside this bar. Rafa here looking to just open up this hole here so he can really get a breach coming through as the drones come through further. P13's position now firmly known. They know he's on this doorway. They know he's trying to swing for a shotgun as Dono tries to swing round. P13 jiggling with the shotgun there. Not going to take any damage, but he's going to take Dono down to half health. Finko on the board, though, shouldn't be that big of an issue for them as a charge should come through very soon. They're going to come through from below. P13, they're going to get caught out there by Dano, and the trade comes through. 4v4 right now. This hold is now becomes a lot harder for this player inside of AVF, on the side of LFO. As I said, though, Spills proves me wrong. Finds a pick there on the Aruni doing work. I don't even know from where, but 3v5 right now for Praetorian. They're used to this situation, to be honest with you. LFO need to just slow down, need to stop getting aggressive in these angles, need to really lock out this round right now. You know, they have the advantage. PRT, all members of them right now towards 30, looking completely lost as well. They have, however, taken control as the member from LFO, I believe, has just rotated off as he has managed to escape there through towards landing as Praetorian to push up further.
Yeah, Praetorian are in a man disadvantage, but this, well, no, not with the utility that they have. I was going to say this could be clutchable, but they only have 1 nade and 1 smoke left, and they're going to have to make that nade and that smoke count for the better. Forever has the diffuser, so he has to be careful as he's trying to challenge the on-site position of Spliz. He's gonna go down from below, prep a nade as well. Spliz looks to have backed off in the nick of time. Nade eventually going to detonate, and it doesn't get no one. It does actually do a little bit of chip damage onto Xerox, but again, no confirmed kill for Praetorian just as of yet. And I feel like the next kill is going to be the most important, whether it is for Praetorian or LFO. It's going to be the most important kill of this round that we do see. 25 seconds left remain for the attackers, as there goes the kill that I was talking about. Spurs LFO, and there you go. They close out that round, and it's a defensive round from LFO. Finally, after losing about 3 rounds, well, 7 rounds in a row in total, 3 rounds in a row on their defenses, they finally find an answer back, and it comes 2 rounds after their tactical timeout.
I mean, yeah, maybe the tactical timeout is just on a timer to just come into play here. Obviously, 6-4, back still against the wall firmly for LFO. Obviously, as they are 6-4 down right now. Obviously, they are going to go to living room library, a site we have not seen yet in the game. Often the off site for the teams. Obviously, most teams within the whole of Siege often usually prefer this as their 4th site. But again, we have seen it being played correctly recently, and it has taken off a little bit with Fawn now as well being played. Fawn, interesting operator. I love Fawn. I don't know about you, but Fawn is the shield. The Fawn gadgets, they're pretty unique, and when played correctly and combo with something like a Melusi, you see critical playing here, they become an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, of course. I was gonna Thorn is, I think whenever she's picked, I get very excited, and the reason why I get excited is because her utility is very it's very not only is her utility very good, like her abilities, but also her gun is very fun to watch people hit shots with. It's also very fun to use, but her utility, most importantly, her razor thorns or whatever they're called, I keep forgetting, but her special ability, you can put those on doorways. They explode when people step into it, and they have to make a split-second decision, and that decision is, do I shoot it, do I run away, or what do I do? And sometimes they may not even have enough time to react, and those can usually get kills. They can do a lot of damage. They can make attackers second guess what they're doing, and then they have to make a really fast decision. It tests your reaction time more than anything else.
I mean, yeah, and then combo that obviously with Melusi gadget as well, just adds a lot more pressure situation. And then when you have a gun as well up, it's just, not a fun situation to be in as an attacker. But as I say, there's Coles here looking to just enter off this drone towards this trophy side. They know what's up. They're just pushing through here, looking to take 90 control, I believe, very early on, and just contest these bar AV players. As Dana also pros in here to join him on the Dockery. Cole should be coming through ideally soon to help aid Cole's pushing up, as I do say that he goes on drone. Really looking just to take this top floor. Obviously, for living, you want to have top floor control. It's very hard just to take a walk into sight without those vertical angles in play. Coles looking to push up further. Volt is reinforced, so Habana may have to come to aid him when looking to open this. One player also from LFO looking to charge the top red. That's going to be, I believe, P13. They're looking to get a bit aggressive. And they're going to come through. Finds in P13 going to be going down in the air. Good nade there from Coles. P15 was unfortunately showing his head there, wrong place, wrong time. This is it, Praetorian taking the advantage. 6-4, as you remember, Praetorian on match point. Not ideal for LFO in this situation right now.
Especially with the map control that Praetorian are going to look to claim. If they keep putting this pressure on the second floor push, and if they get a second or even a third onto Hunter and Spliz, they have the second floor in their control. And what's scary about this what's most scary about this push from Praetorian, if it is successful, if they do get control of the second floor, is they have the Buck. You hear his skeleton key going off, and for Buck, if they have control of that second floor, they can make so many vertical angles. They can push these defenders off of site. Then the defenders will have to be forced to retake the second floor, and that usually isn't successful, especially if they're holding angles. Blizz is found out and fall as Praetorian better their man advantage, they better their man count, making it a 5v3, and Praetorian are all over this second floor because Hunter, he doesn't die, but he rotates back onto site. And you look at the way that Praetorian are set up, they have players set up on stairs, they have players set up on flanks, just in case LFO want to try and go for a retake, but at the moment LFO are sitting tight and pretty on the site. They still have the skeleton keys going wild, but pay attention to the time. 20 seconds left for the attackers. And while all this map control is all good and dandy, it won't mean jack crap if you don't make and execute properly onto site. Praetorian find a second, there goes a third, and now we have a 5v1. Hunter does get a kill, but he does finally fall, and Praetorian take the very first map, and this was actually LFO's map pick as well, so it's a good map to get as they move on to Chalet, which is their own map pick.
Fortunate there for LFO, obviously taking the first 2 rounds and then really falling off straight up after 6 rounds in a row. Praetorian obviously one round fought back by LFO, and then obviously we see the closeout come through there for Praetorian final round there. Obviously, I have to question the living room pick for Praetorian there, for LFO there. Sorry, bit of an interest. Obviously, they had to try something. I just don't know if that's the correct thing to try.
Yeah, and that second floor hold was so easily dismantled from Praetorian. They made that look so easy on that second floor push. It started to get a little bit scary at the end, especially when they had 20 seconds left, but they still made it work because they continuously got picks, and LFO did not get a single trade throughout that round. Hunter did get a kill at the end of that round, but he was stuck in a helpless situation in a 1v4, and it just wasn't good enough on that hold from LFO. The library living room site is more pick nowadays, but you got to make that second floor hold count, and LFO just didn't really do that. But as I say that, we are gonna head into a 10-minute break, and then when we come back, we will come back to this game, and we will be on Chalet. Just as a reminder to those who have joined late, it is a 1-0 lead for Praetorian as they take LFO's map pick, but we will be back in about 10 minutes or so.
Just choke machine soldiers here. They leave 2 people up top, they push down below. I mean, they're coming to West Main now. You've got Agent here with the shotgun on West Main, and Korgo just gets that kill. He gets a double kill! Oh my god, Korgo's popping off with that triple kill. Could be
If Oxidi would know, then boy oh boy would he be worried.
Well, it's actually going to be Mr. Easter to take out Spooky.
My lord! Thank you, Lawless! Thank you! Boy oh boy! Boy, how you will dream bad about this one for years to come. I am absolutely amazed. Like, great congrats to Mr. East and stuff, but yes.
Matt is get very aggressive. Christmas did spot out the player out there, and Oxy is able to take down Joe. This could be the perfect time for this one. It's just prepped it just so that when the players melee it, expecting something, they get something completely different. Grenade does come through.
But we'll be able to escape, and if you look up there, here's Coinsold taking out the depth head. And Lawless will fall finally on from Oxy D, as he already has his third kill up on this round. It's all down to Mr. Easter for gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Not going to be ideal, although it did force back the attack just for a little bit longer. A lovely shot by Doki, though. That's exactly what he wanted. He's going to be able to fall back with the rotation. Going to leave it open. He's not going to playing around the cover to try and hide his fallback. He doesn't get caught off by the attack now. You've got to be careful with these long angles. We saw what VISU were able to do with it. Quick trade going through. Doki able to re-pick that kill up for his team. Oh, and as well as finding another one onto Ethan's. That's a lovely triple kill for Doki in this round.
So it's full white flashed in, but the smoke is just denying any sort of push from here. He's still in that area, and Doki just finishes off with a 4K from Doki that round.
Indicator that someone is doing something cheeky, something funny, but JTT finds the first pick. He gets an injure as well. He'll secure that kill. I believe the Fingertools trying to pick themselves up. It wasn't really forced, it's actually opened, and he's found himself third. No way! He swung hip fire with the SMG-11 to make it 4, and
You could turn me on and turn me off with your gaze. You could make me feel oh so much with your ways. It's perfect the way you play me. You could turn me on and turn me off with your gaze. You could make me feel oh so much with your ways. It's so perfect the way you play me. It's magnetic the way you pull me. You flick the switch, you know me so well. You turn me on like nobody else. I'm a project for you to complete. You're so perfect and now I need you. You need me, need me. It's so perfect the way you play me. It's magnetic the way you pull me. You could turn me on and turn me off with your gaze. You could make me feel oh so much with your ways. It's so perfect the way you play me.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Talent League. We are back with Praetorian versus LFO. And if you missed the action in the very first map, do not worry. I have a review for you. Basically, it was a 7-4 win from Praetorian. LFO made him work for it. It wasn't like a total loss or anything like that. It was just a good match from Praetorian. Once they adjusted, you saw them take that half and you saw them take the whole entire map. And that was LFO's map pick yet again. I repeat. But we are heading on to Chalet, which is Praetorian's map pick. A whole different map, a whole different vibe than what Villa provides for us. And again, I'm joined by my co-caster here, Austin. And based off of what we got from Villa, what do you think we'll get from Chalet?
Well, obviously, we did see LFO start relatively well in the attack 3 rounds in a row, but then we saw Praetorian absolutely come out and just shut them down 7-4. Dominant scoreline when you look at the fact of like the fact that Praetorian did get 6 rounds in a row, and obviously, they did get the 7th straight after. So Chalet is a very interesting map. Obviously, we do normally see it traditionally be quite an attacker-sided map. When it first came into the competitive one, currently now as well within this season, it is still attacker-sided. So whoever team starts an attack, they should have the advantage here. But obviously, you cannot ignore the fact that Praetorian did have such a strong showing on that first map.
Not at all. I felt like, yeah, Praetorian had a really good showing, and then we saw LFO dominate for 3 rounds in a row at the beginning. Like you mentioned, 3 attacks in a row. That's how strong it was. But we're gonna head straight into Chalet, and we're gonna have a look at the ban phase. And off the bat, I'm going to expect the Flores ban as well as the Thatcher ban.
What are you going same as last time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Thatcher.
I remember for the first one.
Thatcher. I mean, Thatcher. There's no real expectation for Thatcher not be banned. You know, like Thatcher is, you know, the godfather of the ban, as some would call it. You know, the ban came in for Lion, but very firmly slapped. You know, they missed Lion with a slap, and that slap just trailed, went right across, and you know, Thatcher just hit an ace. Very interesting ban. Habana and Firma obviously still on the board, so you know, interesting to say the least. Obviously, maybe they just want, you know, they want the force of Firma breach. Maybe that's what they want. Maybe they want to play C-Force. That's my thinking here. From PRETORIAN, obviously Valkyrie going off the board as well. Valkyrie being played quite a lot last game, obviously. Chalet's or just all the soft floor is very influential. So you know, understandable ban. And final ban for here, Cade. Thatcher off the board, so you would expect Cade to actually be banned. So Maverick gonna have a field day here, hopefully on this breach if Bandit is in fact in play. But that is to be seen as LFO do attempt to attack first. Round 1 coming straight at you. Bar Gaming locked in here by PRETORIAN. Frost as well, very strong here. You know, if you're going to think of any map, you know, with any site where you think Frost, you immediately go to Bar Gaming Chalet. It is almost the Frost insta-lock site, so strong on those library windows and in fact on that site. Double window when you're looking to jump in, so you know, there's no surprise there. Flores also, like you said, probably banned. He's actually in fact being played here. Super strong.
Yeah, the thing with Flores and the reason why I thought he would have most definitely be banned on this map, there are a lot of power positions that the defenders can hold. More specifically, what I'm thinking of, at least on the second floor for Bar Gaming in particular, is that west side stairway. You put a shield up there, you also put ADS up there, ADS is up there, you also put my gadgets up there in order to protect your position so that you can hold down library hallway. And some teams, if they're holding down library hallway with that shield at the top of west main stairs, they usually have an angle on that office wall separating office from library hallway. Just because they're holding that shield, they already have those slit opens, and those slits are basic on the shields basically operate as a mini mirror window. So wonder how Ubisoft hasn't changed it yet after complaints from the community for so many years about it.
I mean, I like the shield. I love the shield. Personally, I'm not complaining about the shield. I like the shield. I feel like it adds, you know, a new dynamic to the game. It means you have to clear them. You need to clear those shields. The shields are so important. They become an ingress. You know, they become a necessity to clear for the attackers. And obviously, with the attacker repick coming through, I think it balances it slightly. You know, you see the shield play, you bring a Flora. You see the shield play, you bring more nades. You know, you bring Gone Sixes. So you know that has almost balanced out a little bit. All these little small hidden balances that aren't really talked about very often through the attacker repick have actually been, you know, kind of almost solved. A very good play from Ubisoft to attack, include the attacker repick. As we see this here, it is expected for a solo side take to come through here from LFO. Obviously, you need to really clear this top floor, and by this I mean you need to breach this office wall and then really look to challenge onto these stair players and Mezzi player and clear these shields.
Yeah, what's kind of unique about LFO is that they have more flashes than they do nades. They only have 2 nades and 9 flashes, which that's unheard of. Obviously, the operators to have those flashes are the Buck, the Habana, and also the Flores. And at the moment, for at least destructibility and burning out utility, they're gonna depend on the frag grenade, not the frag grenades, the stun grenades, to burn out those ADSs. 3 of them being used now, 6 of them being used by both Xerath and P13, and the grenades flying out in order to remove that shield on the top of west main stairs, but also the shield that the Frost is playing on top of fireplace. Spliz takes a lot of damage, but there goes Xerath to open up the first kill. Spliz finally finished off, a couple of kills going in LFO's favor as they establish a 4v3 man advantage, but the amount of map control that they do have is mainly on the second floor, and I feel like for this site it's all you need in order to effectively execute onto it.
I mean, yeah, obviously PRETORIAN, they're losing that top floor control. Both shield players, in fact, dead. Jaeger going down as well as Frost. Not ideal. You know, now all players from PRETORIAN now firmly inside the site. You know, they're really going to start feeling this pressure from this Vert player. Obviously, Buck's still on the board, going to be making all these holes. 11 shells left, now 7 in his pocket still to use. You know, never many safe spots. The bar here and the stock need to be played perfectly as Hatches also start being on P13. This is going to limit the bar playing. Now he's to probably look to rotate towards bottom blue or maybe even stock to play a bit safe. This critical here. Looks to maybe rotate down towards this window and set up for the execute in towards the side.
Yeah, see from LFO what they decide to do. A lot of time at the moment has been wasted, whether that is down to LFO's own issues or down to Praetorian doing amazing time wasting. Rafa using 2 of his smoke grenades, only having 1 in pocket. Now the plant has to come down at some time. LFO are struggling for time, and they're also struggling to execute. 2 kills go out for Praetorian, 1 goes in favor of LFO, another for Praetorian, a double for Rafa, and there goes the triple as Praetorian close out that round.
Yeah, Rafa coming a big there from inside the stock on that smoke play. Rafa, a key player to highlight from the first game, really pulling through for Praetorian in times of need, and he's just done it again there. Really, that should have gone LFO's way with the top floor being in hands within a minute, and the vertical play really coming through there. I don't know what the execute was planned there. Didn't really come to fruition. Obviously, we see Praetorian take the first round as they do move now towards kitchen dining for their second defense. Echo on the board here as well. Echo, ever since his drones have, lost their cloaking ability, he has almost taken a bit of a backseat. He used to have this super strong presence where he was the most banned operator in terms of, the defense. But now, he's regularly in play. And I feel like, again, Ubisoft, whenever they make these comp changes, they do it well. Because, Echo perfectly balanced them up. The drones being able to be seen can be a bit of a nightmare when you are looking to, actually play him through the plant. Now, as again, nothing is stopping an attacker just walking in there and just, shooting it. But still, it is still nice to see Echo being played every now and then.
Yeah, it is, and like you said, he used to have such a huge presence in not only like across all competitions inside of Siege, and he used to be the most banned op alongside Thatcher, and even when Lion was like really overpowered and teams started like banning Lion and they started to like work with each other to have someone ban Lion and then they ban the other op, like they used to plan their bans out. Echo was alongside Lion as well. He was that good, and I mean he still is pretty good. He has a good gun and he does have good utility. Those Echo drones could be very good at the latter stages of a round, but since you can see the drones now and he's kind of been, yeah, like you said, been taking more of a backseater because it's so much easier to destroy those drones rather than how it used to be, because you couldn't see them, they were invincible. But one thing that comes to mind, at least a popular Echo player that I can think of, is obviously Gogo from the Penta G2 days. I think that was one of my most favorite. Like, some of his Echo plays were some of my most favorite, as the first kill does happen, Spliss finds Coles, and that's Shimmer Lucy off of the board off for it.
Claymores as well, paying the others there critical. Gonna find one as Bombi gets a bit overzealous there and hops out that window to his demise. Following to one of those big red lasers, and that big little satchel there of shrapnel goes into his feet and he's down for the count. Breach going to come through here onto this office walls. Dano gets a bit aggressive there and finds Spills unaware of the situation. Going to be swung up from piano door there, picking up one, equalizing the man count. 3v3 here. Top control still in the hands of Praetorian as he does look to play further back here towards this solar side as he has 2 Magellas in pocket. Very innovative play here from Dano as he looks to just deny these further drone work. We also see his friend Forever there down below inside of Bar Games. Maybe playing for a late flank or just to deny from this lobby side. LFO really need to be careful with this. They should know that the shield is clear as Dano has just rotated back down these other stairs. Top floor control now in the hands of LFO. But whether they know this or not is another thing. They need to re-drone, refine this information. They need to do it quickly as well. As the first time we see them in the first round, they end up not having enough time to execute. And we're seeing this again. They are very slow on their ingress here. Hunter as well on this fuse needs to really start using his utility. No members are really inside the site other than Rafa, who could be coming under a bit of pressure from these hockey pucks that Fuse can launch down into the site as he is just playing these long angles here. Hatch also soft, so can be popped, forcing him outside the kitchen. Smart player from Rafa just to, back off a little bit. Obviously, no pressure from LFO on these angles yet to actually cause any real concern for Praetorian inside the site.
Yeah, it looks to be for LFO a split take for top floor as well as Fireplace, as the bug does work from above with those skeleton keys, and then obviously you have the hard breach being used by P13 on that main dining room wall. The utility from Hunter on his fuse charges is going to be crucial in forcing Dano out of his position and also doing a little bit of damage onto him as well, and that's exactly what I mean. He forced him out of his position, out of his own position, and he moved somewhere else, but into the line of sight of Hunter. Rafa does eventually find the trade, but a 2v2 is the name of the game as we enter 15 seconds of LFO. Just like last round, they're running out of time. They look good, but not on the clock. There goes the Echo drone to stun Hunter as he's stuck in a 1v2 situation. 3 seconds left, and not even enough time to get that kill on a player playing in the main hallway. And it is another Praetorian time based on LFO just running out of time.
mean, LFO there, you know, I want to say even slower than the first round. He's really taking the time to take that top floor. Dano being a major factor in there, you know, the uphold of the attack. Obviously swinging around, finding splitters on that, you know, piano double door. Very good play. And then obviously moving back, replacing his mute jammers, making them drone even further, and obviously giving them less time. And, you know, it all comes into play. Obviously, then we do see Hunter moving out of the play with Fuse, but by then it's just way too late. You know, we've already seen the amount of time burn, and again, they are teasing this Monty pick. Obviously, we have seen Critical tease Monty in the first map, obviously switched off it. Will we see it this time? Hopefully we do, obviously. But they obviously also as well, they can go to this top floor. Obviously, they play bar, kitchen, and bedroom, so they're going to completely neglect this bottom floor. We have seen a lot of teams do. Bottom floor, obviously, again, really weak to that backside attack, so I doubt we might even see it this game in general. Obviously, it is that site, again, that you do just choose if you need to, you know, find something new or pick up a round that you're really struggling to try, and, you know, you think you need to try something, that could be it. But, you know, why go there if, you know, you are playing how you are for Praetorian right now?
Why go to this side?
No, it's a bottom floor, my friend.
Oh my lord, I had a brain fart. You know what? See, sorry. There you go. Thank you so much. I was like, you said why would you go here, and I was like, you mean this side? There you go. I have the attention span of a goldfish. But anyways, back to this round. Master bedroom and office is going to be the site, and the Tachanka pick. We talked about the Tachanka pick to some extent on Villa, and I feel like he doesn't really need any more like insights or analysis when it comes to what his utility can do, because a lot of people just know him as basically a second smoke.
Yeah, I mean, he is the second smoke, effectively. Like, you play him in a very similar way, but obviously the LMG having a lot more destructibility than the shotgun, and actually can provide a little bit more in terms of the denial. Just depends how you can really use those Shumaka grenades. Obviously, a smaller area of effect than the smoke canisters, and obviously, you know, a shorter timer as well, I believe, on those flame rounds, but even still, 14 in the back pocket is a lot to contend with when you're looking to attack. But as you speak, Zorok pushing up these west main stairs, has control, looking to take the early fight here onto the player inside of dining, but smartly done, well played there by Forever, knowing he's about to be pressured off, does fall back, and again, LFO not really rewarded for that drone there as Coles and Forever do rotate back. However, Coles looking to take a challenge here onto Vinka. Vinka finds him in their splitters. Coles now stuck in the corner, nade in pocket as well. Splitters can pretty much end this one very quickly. Just gonna look to hold him in. They're gonna swing round, almost finds ahead. Bombi looking to maybe come down here and support his teammate. Just pinned in here, gonna push up here at LMG. Can't see him winning the splitters, finds him, but refrag by Bombi in time to save the day and keep the man count even. For Praetorian, well played there to refrag him, his teammate. But Dano, as we speak, gets refragged up by P13 as Rafa there finds one with the Shumaka launcher at the height as he pushes up the stairs, holding this long angle from Solarium. Almost finds the head there of Critical, but narrowly dodges that. Again, these Shumaka grenades are really powerful and stopping the walk up here on these Solarium stairs. Two members are just stuck at the bottom of these stairs. These flames engulfing these stairs. They cannot move up through these flames as they finally move up. Critical now finds a break, gets through on the shield though, challenged by Rafa. Rafa just bearing that situation. Critical going to be going down here inside the solar. P13 is Zurich. All that's left for LFO is Critical on the floor right now, isn't in a position to be rev. Going to challenge here into closet. No damage coming from Reaver player. P13 still in these windows as well, not really helping Zurich right now. A really tough spot for Zurich just to really deal with as Rafa does just push out and claim that DBNO.
Yeah, a 2v3, and again, it's just LFO, like, slowing down their own time, but also to the assistance of Rafa using those Shumaka launchers so well onto the Solarium side where Rafa and P13 are. There goes the Shumaka launchers making noise again, and there goes finally Xerac to be down. P13 still outside, still on these windows. He rotated from the north side windows on the Solarium side to now rotating onto the west side. He's getting pushed from behind, from the bathroom window, and it is the bathroom window killer Rafa on this Tachanka LMG, able to close out this round for Praetorian, and this is a third round in a row. I'm gonna say the fourth round in a row, but this is going to be our fourth round as LFO. You know, Praetorian, this is like a flip of Villa, but this could get worse for LFO if they're not able to straighten out their act.
I mean, as I said before this game, attack is normally the favourable side for Chalet, but when you see LFO going down 0-3, you have to wonder, do they have anything left to pull this back? Obviously, you know, ideally you want to take a 3-3 split. This is the best you can do right now. We need to see LFO finally take a round here. Obviously, we are seeing the complete rotation come through Praetorian. They are back on this favoured bar site, which they did in fact go to first. So you have to assume this is their, in fact, strongest bomb site. So if LFO need to do it, they need to do it now. They need to really put pressure on Praetorian and take their favoured site. But going to be a hard job to do. Obviously, last time we did them here, they did clear top 4 relatively well and relatively fast, and we just saw them slow down completely, and their pacing was just all off when they execute, and, you know, it came down to it. And this has been a recurring theme as well, for like you mentioned. Their timing is just really poor. They have, you know, little time left to execute. After they do their clear, you know, they just slow down, and obviously, you know, they aren't even aiding themselves in that. They are being slow as it is in general, and then obviously Praetorian on top of that, they're just causing an absolute nightmare for them.
Yeah, the last 2 rounds, the first 2 rounds in which Praetorian won, like back to back, you blame LFO because like you would blame LFO because again they wasted their own time by whenever they get map control, whenever they get good map control, they're not able to execute on Chalet on this map in general. And I don't know if it's because Chalet is Praetorian's map pick and Praetorian are more prepared for it than LFO, or maybe this isn't a map for LFO. So like you could knock that down to it being just a bad ban phase in which they let Shelly slip, etc., etc. There are a lot of factors that could go into that, but the first kill is going to happen, and this gets knocked down, and it's noted as Forever taking the first pick into this round. But it's just, you know, what can you fix for LFO? Like, what would you change?
Would I change? I think their pacing is just, you know, completely off. Maybe even try chucking a rush in there. You know, maybe just try and play for these very early picks. You know, they're just slowing down these attacks. They're going relatively quite slow. Obviously, they're in office now, and as I said, that Bombi finds that one to P13. As Bombi finds a second split, you cannot allow it to happen. He's pushing it from behind. Almost gets a third, but Xerox finally stops the bleeding there. 2v4 already. 1 minute 15 on the clock. But this is what the issue you have here. You know, Bombi, he's willing to play that play. He's willing to make a flank. You know. LFO none the wiser, no drones in place, he just gets away with that one for free. You know, 3 members of LFO already on the floor, and you know, what do they have to do with it? They have office control, and that's it. No hard breach, they have to do this the hard way, push through, you know, Mezzi, and, you know, I can't imagine that happening as Cole's just sitting there eagerly perched on that shield, and, you know, this round's already lost to me.
I don't think, okay, they haven't, in the last 4 rounds, LFO have only had 1 opening pick, and they still have not won a round where they have gotten an opening pick, or the opening pick has not been rare. As Forever, you are a nasty, nasty boy, and he gets Xerox, he takes down the Buck, and now we see Critical in a 1v4 situation. The 417 marksman rifle in hand does range some shots, but gets absolutely decimated by Rafa, who just crouch peeks him, and you know, add insult to injury. He's just crouch quick peeking him. You see that? Damn.
Disgusting. It's disgusting is what it is. Yeah, it's disgusting. Rafa is having a field day in these games. You know, Rafa and Forever right now are playing out of their minds. Obviously, Bombi is having a big round the run before, and Jaeger really bailing out his team, then finding an extra down there, and then obviously finding the double kill on the flank as well. We can't forget Bombi. Actually, no, you know, when we're talking about individual players, the whole of Praetorian has been amazing in this game so far. No player really, you know, letting it slip, and you know, I can't say the same for LFO. You know, they're really having issues getting into this map. Again, Critical teasing this Monty for a 3rd time in a row. Will we finally see it being played for LFO? Obviously, he is 1-4 right now, so it wouldn't be exactly a bad idea as he's not having the impact on the guns. I mean, none of LFO really are, other than Hunter, who's 3-3 right now. Everyone else really struggling to get off the mark in terms of these gunfights, and you know, it's really showing. I mean, 4-0 right now for Praetorian. Obviously, Villa, they did take 6 rounds in a row. Can they take 7 here? On Chalet, obviously, is still on the cards. A flawless round would be absolutely humiliating here for LFO. We need to see them find one of these rounds very quickly. If not, I can't see it going any other way.
Yeah, the thing about the first few rounds where we saw Praetorian and LFO have, like, you know, it's not been like back and forth. Obviously, Praetorian have a 4-0 lead. The round besides the last round where LFO just completely fell apart and Praetorian just stomped them, we've seen LFO be able to get like good trades. They're able to get the man advantage going in their favor, and the man advantage going in their favor, and they're able to get map control. It's just about how quickly can they execute onto the site and how smartly can they do it. It just doesn't seem, when they get those opening kills, when they get the map control that they want, it doesn't seem like they know how to properly execute it. Look, now they do have an opportunity of getting the opening pick, but there you go. Legion Forever was down, and Forever has been popping off this whole match, but Bombi has been as well, and while his teammate was down, he swung onto the same window where Forever got down from, and that opening kill is going to shape out this round completely, because that's your Osa gone, and we already know how important Osa can be with her utility. Bombi's finally taken down. There goes Xerox with the trade, so it is as cool as that, but Coles is still persisting on this 2nd floor, dropping down the kitchen hatch and into kitchen itself, and he does have support from another player playing in dining room right beside the kitchen area, and that's Dano on the mute.
Yeah, I mean, Zorok, they're really trying to stop the bleeding here for LFO. There finds Bomby on that top floor, but again, 1 minute 42 left on the clock. They only have top floor control right now. I don't know what type of attack they might be going for here. As you know, they have this middle floor extend here, and Mute playing firmly inside of Dining right now as he looks to be challenged from spills on this hatchet. I can only imagine that this Dining hatch is in fact open as well to allow Dano to rotate back. But as I see that, Dano does get popped by Zorok. Zorok coming up big in this round, 2 picks now. Really the battering ram right now for LFO here. You know, he's found 2 picks, and Cole's again holding this hatch, looking for a drop, but Forever looks to rotate. But I feel like PRETORIAN want to hold this even more. A drone does come through those spots, both Forever and Cole's it on this room, and you know, find another one there, looking to challenge further into lobby, but Forever should probably go back down these stairs. I don't think he can stay for much longer. He's going to Sergu though, passive there, just waiting for this sound cue to go off, and he might even play towards the garage. Now he's going to rotate straight back into sight and play beneath this hatch.
Time has been wasted on LFO's side. They are going to use their utility to the best of their ability, but they're dying. Everybody's dying around everyone, and there's no trade for him. Early on, we saw Xerac get a trade onto Bombi, but at the moment, there are no immediate kills coming onto the board. There goes Xerac from a vertical angles that he created in Fireplace onto Forever, and that is the Legion down and out for the count. Forever was 5-1, and he was destroying LFO for most of this map, really. And also, he had a couple good moments on Villa as well. But we get to the latter stages of this round. 15 seconds left to go. P13 with the kill. Now Coles with the trade as he pushes himself into a 1v2 situation. There goes a player in connector as the plant does go down. The Overwatch is great from Xerac, who has a 3K from that round.
I believe there's actually a 4K there for Xerac. Xerac coming up massively there for LFO. You know, if it's not for Xerac, that round goes the other way. And LFO finally stopped the bleeding 4-1. Can they find a second here? You know, they really need to find a second. Sorry, I need to reword that. They need to find the second to have a chance in this game. Obviously, 5-1 is not ideal with PRETORIAN going to attack off this after we just see them do that on Villa. You know, Critical again, teasing this Monty. He needs to play it. I'm sorry, he needs to play it. It's 4 rounds in a row now. He's teasing this Monty, you know. They've picked off it every single time. When we finally see a Monty, obviously, I know Monty isn't exactly ideal for Chalet, but it's quite interesting to see. Obviously, they were going to go towards the kitchen side, so I can see him maybe being able to just walk up that, you know, short, long hallway, you know, towards the side of dining door. But even still, you know, Monty is never the most. But again, Critical, you're 1 on 5, my friend. You could just try it. As he has actually been Monty for the longest. 24 seconds now left. You know, 20 seconds left to wait for this Monty pick if we do finally see it. You know, he is sticking it as of right now. And he changes. Okay, I got my hopes up for nothing. You know, always disappointing me. But yeah, I mean, he's going to change to the sledge there. I can't say that's not a wise pick, obviously, with the vert play needed for this up. There's a rock on the buck as well, so they will be emphasizing this top floor control. But obviously, as we know, PRETORIAN, no fools of this. They want to hold this. They will not give it up, as we see Dano last time here as well. As Forever just play it very well and just slow this attack.
Yeah, the interesting thing about Critical is that he teased the Monty pick last round, as you said, but also he picked Osa, and then as he picked Osa, he was the first one to die in that round for LFO, when LFO most definitely deserved a opener, but they just didn't get it because Forever was down on the stairs, he got picked up and whatnot. But anyways, the first opener is going to go in LFO's favor, and it's actually Critical on the sledge. You know, we talked about his scoreline a little bit. He may have heard us because he gets the opening pick, and it's on to Bombi, who was 6-4, now 6-5. He's had a really good game so far, but you also have to take out the big dogs, Rafa and Forever in particular. And there goes Rafa down. That's the 7-1 player, now 7-2. Forever does get the eventual trade onto Xerac, and that's your not your sledge, but your buck down. And that's why this sledge pick is so useful here, because if one of these soft destructors go down, then you have another soft destructor to depend on. But here comes the trade from Coles, and what LFO have struggled with, at least in this whole matchup so far against this PRETORIAN defense, is the amount of aggression that PRETORIAN are enacting over them, especially when they're trying to take as much map control as possible. It's either been their executes that have been way too slow, or they have been struggling against some really over-aggressive plays that probably shouldn't work, and it does for PRETORIAN because they can hit their shots and they can hit them well. But a minute and 25 left to go for the attackers. They have control of this office area, and with that, they can use their utility in order to make holes right above the dining site.
Yeah, I mean, Nair's going to be coming through there for Critical. Not going to find one as we only have Dano here, but he is ratting on this Master. But I wonder if Critical is, in fact, aware of his position right now. If not, this could be disastrous for LFO as Critical just looks to make this vert. Going to go back on drones, I believe, here as he just looks to push. And I don't think they're aware of his position. Dano going to pop up. Going to get shut down by... That's very unfortunate. I thought Dano got the pick there onto Spliz, but he doesn't. Spliz finds that one there. 2v3 here, 56 seconds on the clock. As I said, at Critical, making himself known in this round. Double kill for him. Cole's going to be going down forever. 6-2 right now. Has to end the round 9-2 if he wants to have any chance of winning this, but... The attack, look to encroach in. 2 players rotate towards this main lobby side as another player 6 above. Nate going to come through. Forever going to take a lot of damage through this vert holes. Looking to swing the hatch here. Going to take down Critical. Now, 2v1 situation. Both fires tend to main lobby. Smoke canister is going to come through. Spliz trying to shoot him through those rotables. Going to just miss the shots narrowly. Breach this open. Going to push up with a shotgun here. Looking to play close on this doorway. Is going to be unknown, but unlucky there. Forever gets shut down by P13. I almost thought Forever had that in him, to be honest with you there. I feel like his major mistake that was just walking up, putting himself in that corner, showing his shoulder there. Very unfortunate from the breach. If he maybe managed to rat there and didn't show his shoulder, that round could have gone very differently, my friend.
You know, I talked about how LFO haven't been able to deal well with the over-aggression from Praetorian, and they dealt with it perfectly well, especially on that top 4 hold that Praetorian were trying to do. Cole's wasn't a pick on that top 4, but there were so many kills that came from Praetorian just pushing and rotating into line of sights when they didn't need to. You know, LFO have been slow for this whole match for the whole entirety of this matchup when it comes to their attack. Praetorian could have played the patient game maybe in that round, but they didn't. They decided to be over aggressive. You have Rafa just swinging into hallway on that first floor by dining. Then you have another player on the top floor dying very early on as well, Bombi. And I talked about how good he's been performing in this match, but that round was just really weird from him or really poor from him because he died so early on. And there was a trade eventually, but again, you have so many over-aggression plays, and I said it, you know, usually those plays wouldn't work against a lot of different teams, and in that round it didn't work against LFO.
Yeah, certainly did not work. I mean, LFO, they're punishing. I mean, Dano almost getting away with a completely, like, outrageous rat play. I feel like if he stayed there, he finds a double, but it is, you know, aggression is a curse and a blessing at the same time. Obviously, that time it doesn't come off, and we see LFO actually take a second round. Obviously, Critical also having quite a big one, you know, not being able to find them up, but finds a double kill in the last round, and it really shows he is deserving of his spot on LFO, and, you know, comes up big there. However, Bar Gaming, both teams have opted to go for this site first, as they all look to hold the very similar holes. Obviously, LFO though opting to bring a castle instead of the shields here for Mezzi. They need to challenge the Canine here as Critical looks to peek out and really challenge whoever looks to ingress on his position, as you know he's very aware of who could be pushing him. But from the side of Praetorian, it does look like they are just going to be taking things slower and, you know, really working things out. Spliz as well here inside a kitchen, looking to do some damage and really just slow down this push. But Dano is in the bottom floor right now, and he is looking to maybe go towards his main stairs. Joining up with Rafa with Diffuser kill on the map. They may be going for a stock clear here, as it seems they are just checking things out. He is going to start up, and he's going to breach through onto stock kitchens, making these footholds. Any player now that chooses to go into stock is going to be under pressure from those holes. And obviously, because how quiet that Maverick torch is, I doubt any member from LFO has actually in fact heard that.
Yeah, this is usually kind of like the average push that I see inside of major leagues, or yeah, mainly the major leagues whenever teams have gone on Bar Gaming, and that's pushing in, having their map push in from garage with a Sledge or Zofia, and having the angles or the line of sight made inside of that connector pantry that is between both of these sites. Zerak makes an aggressive play onto the double window, and that's a nasty shot from Hunter. Takes out Rafa, that's your Maverick gone, and most importantly, 4 nades off of the board for Praetorian, as this attack has not started off well for them.
I mean, yeah, Hunter absolutely punishing. I believe that's Rafa there on that window, as holes work both ways. So Hunter finding another one. Critical finds one to Bombi, stopping me in my track. Cole's going to push in there, going to find one to Hunter. 4v1 situation as everything goes up in the air, and Zarok finds it from the hatch. Complete scenes there, just a massive flurry of kills coming through at the end there to finish off that round. But again, LFO looking relatively strong on their first defense. The hole's actually going in the favor of LFO when it came down to, you know, I believe it was Dano looking to pressure up those stairs. Not really, or Bombi, sorry, pressure up the stairs on the sledge. It didn't work from Hunter, obviously finding 2 big picks as well. What a beautiful flick though, going back to that flick onto that double window onto Bar. No, this is Gaming, sorry. Amazing kill.
Yeah, the thing in like the thing about Hunter in particular is that he's actually like he's probably one of the best fraggers inside of Talent League. At least in my honest opinion, you can also put critical. You could put any player on LFO and say they can frag out. And while the scoreboard may not be the most impressive, most of them are in a negative. In particular, critical, Hunter, P13, and Spliz. Xerox is going 9-5. He's really putting the team on his back at the moment. But for Hunter, he can pop off in so many different ways. Whether that is getting kills, because we've seen how aggressive he was on Villa in particular, and while it didn't work out for him when he was on his defenses, sometimes it does, and he can hit shots like that, especially if you give him any operator or any defense with an actually decent weapon like Alibi or like a Mozzie or anything like that. You put him on frag heavy rolls, he will get you those kills, and he showed it there in that round. He got a 2K, as well as Xerox, who was 7-5, now 9-5 from that 2K from last round, and they both show you their quality.
Yeah, indeed, they have just shown their quality there. Obviously, we have seen now LFO, second defender round. They are going to go to Kitchen side here. Pretty default rotators for us instead of Splitters just look to take an aggressive fight there onto West main windows. See if they can find anybody out there. No one really peeking them, so it is to be fine, but we will see a top floor push coming through here from Praetorian as Bombi and Dano just get prepared on these windows here, looking to hop in. The breach will be bandited off though, so again, they need to find out a way of getting this off. Obviously, nades are possibly from below. How safe that is, I am unaware as of current, but I don't think Praetorian will be looking to that as they look to just nade here into piano. ADS going to catch one. No burn actually really available. Two nades getting called by ADS, and that's P13 there. Big kill coming through there from office side. Very aware this is going down over there, looking to reframe, but it's too late on that balcony. He just votes back down. Going to go down below and use his utility there to get those bandits off the wall, but not at the cost of his teammate, as Bombi just finally find them here as they look to breach this wall, finally coming through here. 1 minute 45 left on the clock as at P13 needs to really run for his sorcerers. He's going to go towards his canine door, looking to swing actually aggressively here. P13 really feeling himself in this position right now. He has to be moved, so obviously he can just stay there. Support from Hunter, I believe, as well, below, watching this vert angle on his canine door, so he has support from below. They come through though, however, as Rafa does look to try and get this wall here on to Dining breach being open. Hunter here needs to deny here with the shimmy launches. P13 from above finds Rafa. Did that breach get open or not? Breach is open, so Rafa has done his job, but is down on the floor. 5-3 effectively until he does get res. Obviously, Finker on the board, so should be coming through. Instead of the Spliz does clean up forever, and as I curse it, 2v5 right now. LFO really showing they deserve to be in this game. Zekro will find Dano on the other side as well. Bombi now in a 1v5. P13 here just holding firm inside of office. Bombi has to swing and find this kill. Does find P13 though on the rotate off. 4v1. I don't want to say it's winnable, but it is indeed winnable for Bombi here. Looking to push further in. Doesn't have the diffuser. Diffuser still locked in main lobby here. Very hard job for him to make and connect these 4 kills. Obviously, 14 on the clock, may even opt to go, and he is going to opt to take attack time out here. Going to sit by the ladder. We may see some Z's in chat as he is just going to sit here, and they're going to talk over that round and see what they can do better next time.
Just oh my god, I don't even know what to say about that round. I just saw so many kills, one for P13 at the beginning of that round from a nice little swing. The game sense to swing on Coles when that nade was being cooked was insane. He did that as Bombi does eventually fall, but the game sense from P13 to keep hold of office but also get 2 kills from it is absolutely insane. But let's not forget about Splizz's efforts as well. He got a 2K from that round just from holding the long angle from Trophy all the way onto the dining room wall, and that's exactly why you saw his name pop up twice. He was still holding that angle for the majority of that round, and it paid off.
I mean, yeah, Clash as well. Clash and Chenko. And Echo. What a real treat this round's going to be. Master Bedroom Office being played here. Clash is a very interesting pick, obviously. Clash, if played correctly, can turn things very much in your favor, especially when that time starts to tick down and Clash is still alive on the board. With, a significant amount of teammates, obviously, I'm talking like 3 members of Alive and then plus the Clash. It's such a nightmare to deal with that slow and that presence from the Clash. Obviously, nades really being your only real caveat. Obviously, if you get up close and melee, even still, if you have teammates alive, that's very rarely going to happen. So, not exactly ideal when considered, but that being said, Praetorian, 2 rounds in a row now. They've taken 4, in fact, LFO. LFO coming completely back, obviously doing what Praetorian did to them. 4 rounds one way, 4 rounds another. Very linear game here. both teams showing that they have what it takes to take rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds on. This game, actually, I'm going to say this. This game has been very much dominated by momentum. You know, Villa dominated by momentum. Obviously, Praetorian picking up round after round after round, and you know, LFO couldn't stop it. This time, LFO got a break, and they've taken that break. You know, they took obviously Praetorian taking the first 4 rounds in this game, and now LFO coming back with 4 of their own. Obviously, looking to push this lead further as well with this master and office defense.
Yeah, the highlight pick of this round is most definitely going to be focusing on Spliz and what he can do and how he can effectively stop this push or shut it down, or help his teammates shut it down, and what support he can provide for his teammates, because that's essentially what Clash is. Not only, I mean, she does have a really nice secondary, or well, people just, her main gun actually, it's her only gun because the shield is her primary, but a lot of people know Clash is like a time-wasting operator. She's very frustrating to deal with, but an operator that's just as frustrating as her is the Finka, especially with that LMG in play, 2 frag grenades, and also a Gon 6 mixed with those adrenal surges, and you basically have cancer in an operator. It's so toxic. I don't like Finka. Can you tell I don't like Finka? Because I'm going to tell you that I don't like Finka. Now we're in a 5v4, Praetorian in the lead so far, and the first pick has gone their way.
Yeah, I mean, Praetorian looking to take this round here. They need to stop the bleeding right now. As they do to push it further, they're taking a large chunk of damage. Obviously, he is in the general search. He has 2 left, so he will be seeing about 60 health by the end of the round if he does manage to keep alive for the next 2 of them. But he's just looking to be challenged here by, I believe, that is Z Critical. They're looking to swing onto him from those bathroom windows. As Shumik launchers do just come out here from Zarok, holding deep inside of this master bedroom on this bed. As Critical has rotated back to Hunter here, getting even more aggressive onto Forever. Lucky not to lose his head there, but he does finally lose his head, loses the fight to Forever on these windows. Almost finds a second there as well. Critical needs to be very careful. Zarok swings onto Forever. Oh, absolutely exploding. Pushing to Geno now as Iona. Zarok finds another clash under firm amounts of pressure now. Is going to eventually go down to Dan, I believe, from the main window as he is eventually further. Critical though battling back. Zarok and Critical now in a 2v2 situation. Dano and Coles both isolated in their own right. Cole's pushing off. They're going to look to rejoin and maybe grab that diffuser from that K9 balcony, as Forever has dropped it, in fact, on the breach. Zero though gets absolutely shut down there by Coles as the pushing comes through. Z's now all to do. Dano is still, I believe, on this master window repel here. Going to swing out for 1. Misses the shots on Dano. Diffuser down. 40% of the clock. Coles now always to just sit and hold it in this corner. Going to go prone. Going to hit the deck. But Dano's just better on the window as it is. And this is going to be Praetorian fighting back in 5-4 now in favor of Praetorian.
Nice little plant. I like that deep plant. He just rushes straight past the default plant, straight to the couches. It's a smart plant to do, because when we saw who was it? Spliz in the 1v2.
No, Critical.
Critical, my fault. There you go. My memory shot. There you go. But Critical in the 1v2, he was looking towards the default plant spot, and Cole smartly just runs it in deep, plants right next to the couches, and even if the window player dies, Cole, you would bet that Coles wins it, because Critical probably isn't going to expect Coles in that corner right next to the couches. He's not going to expect the diffuser to be planted there, and it's not like LFO had any direct intel in sight or any at all, because they don't have a Valkyrie's band. They don't have any bulletproof cameras that are in sight. Nothing to say, hey, look, he planted right by couches. So he didn't have that intel to work off of. You would still bet that Praetorian win that round based on just a really good plant from Coles. The initiative to rush straight past the default, and to have the level-headedness of doing so. A lot of players in that situation would plant default, but he kept his cool. He was smart about it, and he rushed the couches instead.
Yeah, precisely as you're saying again. I mean, I feel like most players there would in fact opt just to sit and plant default, as you said there. But again, Cole's keeping his head cool and knows what Dano holds as well. Dano there obviously communicates what he can hold and what he held. And again, Dano does find the pit through the windows. P13 actually looks to get a bit aggressive here towards his K9 windows. Bumby out here on this balcony, looking just to challenge through. Going to spray through office, almost finds a head through the wall. It would have been an absolute nightmare if that happened there. But we see Hunter again on this alibi. Hunter, we saw he did the first round. Looking to do it again this time. Though, gonna just be falling back. The alibi clone there almost gets shot, revealing Coles, but isn't going to go through. Coles actually overflicking there to his favor. Drone's going to come through though, as they do look to stop and isolate these defenders towards this Mezzi side.
P13, again, like you said, takes a lot of damage, and you know, I've only seen, I think, actually, no, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I think we've only seen the Thunderbird once or twice today. Yeah, twice, or once in a minor, once in majors so far, as at the moment, no opening picks for neither one of these teams. P13 coming agonizingly close, and he has no way of healing up back to his full HP without a Thunderbird or Doc on the board, and LFO brought neither, and I mean, you know, at least for LFO, no first picks go in the way of Praetorian. One nearly goes in favor of Spliz, and he finally gets that kill into Coles, who peeks right into his line of fire. Interesting decision from the Ayana to do so, and now we see a 5v4 established from LFO. Again, trying this castle strat on top of top mezzanine, where they have the castle set up on that double mezzanine door. There is a player who sneakily makes his way up. Ooh, a double kill actually. Just Bombi, that was such a good play from him. Made his way in from Kendall's windows, does get a double piece, eventually gets traded out, but that is a priceless double kill from the Nook to make it work for his team. Now with 3v3, so either one of these teams can win it, but look at the HP between both of these teams. You would bet that LFO does have the advantage because of the amount of HP lost on Rafa, but that doesn't really mean much. You have two LMGs on the board. There goes one of them, confirming the kill onto Xerox. And now only two players remain for LFO. Critical and Hunter, the Alibi and Mirror, now have to hold it against not only one LMG, but two LMGs and a Habana player with a Type 89. 20 seconds left to go for the attackers, and at the moment, one of these teams has to beat. You bet the next kill will be the most important, and it is the most important. Dano gets one, makes it a 1v3, 10 seconds left. Hunter stuck in a 1v3 situation, has a good gun, but it's not good enough. Forever is there right behind his back, and you see all three of them just push him, but he doesn't push with his teammates. He goes through the rotation, and there you go. Catches the Alibi.
I mean, yeah, I actually believe that, you know, the P13 took a big chunk of damage that round before. I believe that's actually through team damage coming through there on the castle.
Yeah.
Castle being just like lit up with P13. I feel like maybe if he is, you know, obviously we do see him go down to a body shot, and if P13 isn't that low from the engagement, maybe he wins that against Bombi. I mean, it's just a theory to throw out there, but again, Bombi really being, you know, the main deciding factor in the round, in my opinion, hopping in through Canine window, finding two picks that he definitely shouldn't have been allowed to get. Obviously, with Mezzi control on your hands, a Canine hop in is not ideal. You know, that's not what you really want to do as an attacker. But, you know, Bombi does it on the knock, makes it work, obviously, with the decreased sound vault and decreased sound walk up. Obviously, we know P13 was underway. He swings straight into the waiting arms of Bombi. Obviously, no time to react. And we see another player go down inside the kill box, and, you know, eventually is traded. But, you know, Bombi does a really good job there, you know, making that round winnable for PRETORIAN.
This is saucy though for Bombi. Last round he played the Nook, and he's opting out of the Nook using the attacker repick. As you know, I complimented LFO's usage of the attacker repick. It's only fair that I compliment PRETORIAN, who have used the attacker repick to some extent. Okay, he fooled me. I thought he was gonna choose the Ying, but instead he chooses the Sledge. I mean, that's fine. They didn't have any soft breachers. They didn't have any soft breachers or no breaching charges. So the Sledge is the better choice over the Ying. I just wanted to see some nice Ying plays, a Ying rush or two, or one that's only one round. But for PRETORIAN, again, Bombi opting out of that Ying for the Sledge, instead opting out for those rushy Candelas, and instead trading it out for the breaching hammer just for that soft destruction capability. The first kill goes into PRETORIAN's way, as well as Forever kills Critical, and that's a man off of the board for LFO early on, and that's not what you need when PRETORIAN are up on match point.
Yeah, never ideal. Obviously, Critical getting caught out there from the rotate down blue stairs. Obviously, been pressured out by Bombi, and I believe that's Rafa there on the Canine window. Just forced him down. Obviously, obviously Forever was aware and already waiting for that from Mud. Just waiting for the ingress, and does find the free pick onto Critical. 4v5 now, not ideal. Obviously, LFO, you know, looking to prevent this round win. Obviously, PRETORIAN is on match point 6-4. They are looking to get this default breach going. Obviously, last time we did see, you know, PRETORIAN attack this, it was a colossal failure from themselves. They did, in fact, you know, not have top floor control. They just went for the breach, and, you know, well, we saw what happened. Xerox going to try impact trick this wall. Might get one for his luck. I don't believe there's a thermite charge placed on that wall, though. You know, they're just stacking up here waiting as Bombi does look to nade over, try to get the They are actually going to make the impact trick wall. Well, this is actually a nice interesting strategy where you sledge open the wall and then you cannot impact trick that charge there. It's very hard to impact trick and you need to be very strict, but they are going to get the wall breach test. This is main wall now open. Praetorian 45 situation with main breach. Xerox going to sit here prone with this Elder. Elder, an absolute shredding machine in the hands of the correct player. Xerox obviously 12 and 7. Who else would you want it on right now? Going to find the drone. They're going to be droned out though. They're going to come through, turn it to the first. Going to find Bommy. Rafa not quick enough to refrag this. Xerox just going to sit here, hold his position. No nades either ready to come in on the side of Praetorian here, with Forever down below and Cole's up above. No nades to clear him out. As Hunter there, we find Rafa in the main breach. Obviously, Forever though, making a lurk up these back stairs. Up West Main, looking to find one. Finds no, gets shut down by Hunter. Brilliant swing there from the Mozzie, closing any opportunity out here as Cole's down with it all to do. 4v2 firmly in the hands of LFO right now. They're going to come through onto the Banshee, looking to push up through this main breach as Dano has the top floor control. One player still to contest. P13, no, sorry, Split's going to find one there. Dano, Cole's trades on back, sorry, in the breach now. Going to get traded there by Xerox on West Main, and that's a round going for LFO that really shouldn't have gone their way.
That was a nice little throw. That was a nice little throw, Praetorian. I like that. No, I'm kidding. Not really. I voted for you. I voted for y'all on my stat predictions. I want my stat predictions percentage to be right. But yeah, that was a bit of a throw. They most definitely should not have lost that Praetorian, and LFO shouldn't have won that. But I mean, the fight back is real. LFO aren't like, at first it looked very dire for them when they were losing so many rounds in a row, 4 rounds in a row on their attacks, and then they found like, was it 4 rounds back, and it's literally them being down in that same position. They were 6-4 down on Villa. They lost 7-4. They were 6-4 down just last round. Now they're 6-5 down, and they could potentially bring us into overtime. Just the sheer determination from LFO is something to admire in this matchup so far, because again, this is Praetorian's map pick, and Praetorian looked a lot better at the beginning than LFO did at the beginning in their matches on Villa. And just the determination and like the fight back, not wanting to give up, is amazing from them.
10 seconds to
Yeah, you cannot deny the determination to try and stay in this game and win this. Obviously, this time, they are going to go back to bar here. They are going to do the same hold, I believe, with the castle where they do this mezzy hold where we see, I believe it is Critical, just sit there on that mezzy top, and then, you know, P13 back him up there towards those blue stairs. Or if I'm correct, to someone else maybe, but you know, even still, it's the same hold that we've seen every single round now from the side of LFO when they have in fact done this bar gaming side. So interesting to see how Praetorian look to attack this. Obviously, will they do the same as last time? Will they try something new?
See, I feel like they're gonna go for a more default push, and basically what you want to do on this, what I mean by default, is usually teams like to go for a split take, a master bedroom / library take, because they want to be able to pinch this top floor hold that the defenders have. And for LFO, they do have a heavy top floor hold, and they're doing the same exact hold that they did last time with this castle. So Praetorian have come up against this the second time in a row. They lost the first round where they first came up against this. They won the second, so they should know exactly how to deal with this because they've dealt with it before. Split's down below. It looked like he had a one tap. It looked like he found somebody. I don't see anybody on the outlines, but nope, there's just a couple of shots rung out, but no kill just as yet. Not from Splits and not from neither one of these teams.
Yeah, slowest start to the round I believe we've seen. Yeah, 1 minute 44, no picks to come up yet. Gonzig's going to be in place to get rid of this cast barricade, I believe, if they can burn it quick enough. Shield's still in place, I believe, on these top blue stairs, so they are going to have to burn this as well. Actually, no, there is no shield. Actually, there is another shield, sorry. I remain corrected. Gonzig's comes through, obviously challenging to come through onto highway window. Now Critical is now locked in position right now. He's feeling all the pressure. Going to have to opt to vault down there. No one on that side window there to cover him. Almost catches the canine window unaware, but is going to narrowly miss those shots as Bombi looks to go towards the main door. Is going to retrade towards Critical as Coles goes down first. Down there, I do not know by who, but is going to go down the top of the forever. And take this fight. Onto Xerox challenging here, gonna find it down, but is gonna get taken out by Forever there. 4v4, Critical pushing up these stairs, gonna miss the shots on Forever, but is gonna get away with his life. Gonna find P13, gonna bail him out there from Mud. Rafa going down as well. 3v4 here for Praetorian to win. Splits, sorry, holding these head holds inside of Kitchen. I wonder if they're ever going to be used this round. Obviously, not really used last round, but he can rotate here onto this hallway. But surely they are aware that they are raising Kitchen forever. Going to turn on Hunter though. Retrade immediately by Critical as Dano also gets onto P13. 2v2. Bombi and Dano. Outside the site, Spliz trying to retake here. Spliz finds Dano. Bombi looking to push in here. Gonna try and find Spliz. Spliz gonna take a bit down through the wall, but Critical fires back. Critical versus Bombi in a 1v1 effectively. But Critical wins it in the UMP. Critical playing massive that round. 6-6. LFO take us to OT, and this one's gonna be in for the long run.
Yeah. Huge plays from Critical. Like you said, he was originally isolated on top of Mezzanine, his castle destroyed, he had no utility around him in order to protect him from nades or anything like that. He opted to jump down where in any sense you would expect Praetorian to catch him as he was rotating back onto site. Nobody did. He nearly got a kill onto Kendall's window as he jumped down as well. Rotates back onto site. Then you saw a few kills go into LFO's way, and then some trades from Praetorian, but ultimately it is LFO's round to lose, but they win it instead, and they bring us into overtime. And now, in terms of momentum, I feel like momentum has shifted for both teams. Like, you've seen Praetorian get a few rounds in a row, and also you've seen LFO get a few rounds in a row, but now that we're in overtime, do you think that both of these teams do you think that LFO may have the momentum since they won that last round that brought them into overtime and Praetorian were just so close to claiming the full 3 points, or do you think it could go either way?
Well, I mean, honestly, if we look at the round structure, it goes 4-4, 2-2, 2-2. You know, it goes 4-4, then 2-2. You know, both teams winning 4 rounds in a row, 4 rounds in a row, then 2 rounds in a row, then 2 rounds in a row. So, you know, if for fruition it should go 1-1, then obviously whoever wins that, whoever wins that. But, you know, I have a slight inkling that the team that wins the first round here is going to actually take the game. You know, off of trends, obviously back and forth is the LFO on the attack. Runners get, but hang on a second, no way. No way. Are we seeing it? We're seeing Critical on the Monty. All this time teasing, 2 whole maps of, you know, almost 12 rounds worth of not picking this Monty. Finally going to pick him up here, 9-9. I wouldn't say there's a map to do it, but he's going to try it here. On Chalet, I want to see how this Monty progresses, but as we see this now, Spliz looking to ingress here through to window. One player there towards the west main. I believe that's Bombi there, looking, almost getting caught out there by Spliz. Going to take a bit of damage, but he's going to get away with that one. Lucky is Critical, looks to ingress here through this trophy window. Going to hop in, looking to be this, as you said, figurehead in this round and really push these, you know, defenders into key crossfires set up by LFO as he just walks with these solo stairs. You know, the marching mountain, as many call him.
You see, the thing about Monty is that he's an intel gathering app in a way that he's basically a big Cuban drone. Like, you obviously have Ayano who has her clones, and sometimes a lot of people can be fooled by them, they can be baited. And for Monty, the same thing can be said for him. A lot of the attention is going to be on Monty as the Praetorian players run into him first, and that gives his teammates time to set up how they want to push around him, or even set up their angles against the defenders that are paying attention to him. Like players, for example, like Hunter, who's just right behind him, and you know, he could line up his line of sights around Critical if he so wants to. But for LFO, the Monty grabbing that intel onto this library hallway, looking to get the second floor control. And the first players they are going to run into is Forever and Coles. Forever, one of those players being flashed twice, and his shield on the west main stairs being destroyed. So he has to push off of those at some point, and it looks like he's cleared on out of there. The only player to resist on the second floor is Coles in library. Forever taking a lot of heat on west main stairs as he hasn't completely backed off of it just as of yet. A minute left to go for the attackers, but they're making good progress onto the second floor. You may say that, especially with the Monty pick and also the Finka pick, that they're making much slower progress than what you would usually expect them to do. Xerox is down as well, and Critical not able to confirm that kill despite the Frost facing away from him, but like so many times. And 35 seconds remain for LFO as we see the same problems that we saw from them in the very first 4 rounds that they lost in a row. They're way too slow in their attacks. Finally a trade from Spliz, and finally a pick for LFO. Now Critical inside of the bar site. Another kill goes LFO's favor. No trade, no responses yet from Praetorian. There goes the response, this time from Coles, who's now on a 2K in this round. The swing, the kills come in from Hunter and Spliz. Another, this time for Forever, but it is Spliz to close out this round as LFO claimed the first round on overtime.
Blizz and Hunter going absolutely nuclear that round there. Both of them coming up huge. I think Blizz for a 3k, Hunter for 2, or vice versa. Either way, they both had a major impact there in the decisive win of that round for LFO. Obviously, didn't look too good to the start. Obviously, with, Cole's allowed just to get away on Frost. Critical misses
Yeah.
shots on the Monty, but that being said, 7-6 in favour of LFO, and like I said before, I feel like the team that wins the first round takes this due to the pattern we see in this map, and we will see them go back to kitchen dining. Obviously, they're not going to choose to go to bar. Bar was their first site. Obviously, they did choose on their first time on the defense, but they are going to go to kitchen dining instead here. Obviously, think they have more luck there. Fawn going to be in play as well. Obviously, no sixth pick now in terms of comp. So these attackers you see on the defense are going to be in for the round, and we will see a Fawn being played here. Obviously, 2 shields as well. Shields obviously being so strong in the current matchup. Obviously, nades being used all over the place to burn them, and top floor should be very hard to take. With these players in position from LFO. Obviously, Praetorian as well, not having much luck actually. I feel like this is good from LFO. They've pretty actually identified that last few times that Praetorian have attacked this site, they've already had massive struggles to even get anywhere. When it came to looking towards the site, with both times I'm just really stalling out on that main breach. I'm really having issues when it came to getting picked off.
Yeah, that's
5 seconds left.
that has been the issue though for Praetorian in that round. I felt like in the last few seconds they most definitely had the LFO were struggling. We saw that issue that they had in the very first 4 rounds in a row where Praetorian won those, where they struggled for time, and in that round that was the same thing. They wasted so much time. They used so many resources on the second floor push, or the second floor push that they were trying to gain control of. And while they did get a pick, well, they didn't get the first initial pick. That was actually Cole's who got that pick, and he got like 2 more. I believe he got a 3K in that round, and it just didn't. It doesn't click to me how Praetorian actually lost that. But now they go into kitchen dining, and now just like how LFO had the chance to LFO had the chance to go onto attack dining. I don't know what I'm talking about, but Praetorian have the chance to attack it, as instead of going bar first like they did in regulation, LFO go for kitchen first, and we see the Ying pick from Bombi as well.
I mean, this is the first round we've seen Ying in this whole entire game. Actually, no, the first round we've seen Ying in the whole entire series, may I correct myself. Ying, receiving the buff from the attacker repick is insane. Like, Ying now is so strong when played correctly. And they will breach this top floor here. They're actually going to opt to, to take this top floor rather than just look for an ingress directly into sight, as they will put immediate pressure onto the player as Spills here. Just looking to hold this master bedroom is critical. Also holds his long angle there through bathroom. Main breach open, drone's going to be coming through as well, as they do look to get this main as well. Xerok, last time on that Maestro, played a massive impact there when it came to it. It's going to find Forever through the wall there almost, as he does just pepper some shots through with that SMG-11. Almost finds Forever, but he is going to be lucky to get away with his life there. And obviously can regen himself up with that nanobot boost from Finker, Adrenal Surge obviously. P13. Sitting here on the smoke, obviously key denial operator, 3 smokes in pockets still. 1 minute left on the clock. You have to wonder how long Praetorian, have left to attack this site and really get in here. Obviously, Rafa looking to be the player to plant the bomb. He's going to want to take onto default, but doesn't really have much. He's going to start smoking off here, but he's going to get down from the low angle there. Hunter, if you drop on the main breach, he's going to come through full blind there. Bombi, they're taking a lot of damage. Smoke going to be on the main breach. Cole's going to look to nade his. Bombi does in fact start the plant. They're going to come through. Plant looks to be successful. 2 minutes left on the clock. Spills pushes up, a diffuser goes down. Cole's further 4v2 situation, but LFO looking to close one up. Xerok, and it's all over. Xerok and Hunter going to close out, and this is going to be a draw coming through. That all happened in the space of 5 seconds. In 5 seconds, we see a draw.
Yeah. That's kind of funny. It happened so quickly. I don't know. Like my brain couldn't compute exactly what happened. All I saw was Rafa get the main breach open. I was going to make a note for it, and then I immediately look up, he's dead. So are so many other players on either one of these teams, but it's mainly Praetorian who dominates the whole kill feed on that. They completely shut down the default strat that Praetorian wanted to pull off, and they were amazing in those last 2 OT rounds that they were able to pull into wins, and both of these teams were amazing in this whole matchup, but that was an absolutely amazing defense from LFO.
I mean, yeah, LFO clearly identifying they lack the ability for Praetorian to attack that site. So, Praetorian failing, I believe, 3 times, to really attack that site. They lost all 3. attempts of taking that, and obviously it showed that like their attack just wasn't good enough. They just they're still out. They don't really know, and obviously LFO come away with a point.
Yeah. Praetorian originally was also 6-4 up as they were on Villa as well, and I thought they were gonna win it, but they just couldn't pull through. And LFO found the clutch genes. They found the clutch juice. They drunk it, and there you go. They clutched that whole thing up, and they win the whole map 8-6. And since we have a draw between both of these teams, we won't be able to get an interview. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, actually, you know what? I do want to bring your guys' attention to the staff signups, because at Talent League we will accept any help. We will accept anybody. We are an open community, and if you want to cast, if you want to produce, if you want to build up your resume, Talent League is the perfect option for you. I cannot stress this enough. Like it's if you want to try it out, go ahead and sign up. The staff signups are going to be in a Discord, which is linked on the Twitter, and you will get to cast with people like me, with people like Time to Light, with people like Austin as well. Amazing opportunity, but I think that is going to be it for me and Austin. As for today, really good minor game, really good major game. This game was hyped up to be a really good game, and it did not disappoint. That is all.